It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles bird dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles chicken supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or 2 bird dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Summer fun's just begun. Score the North Carolina Courage's courageously cool ticket offer. Buy 2 or more tickets to the August 2nd or 16th match and get $25 in Courage cash. Grab yours now at tickets.nccourage.com.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkbylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on home and auto insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your house sitter has the new code first before leaving for vacation.
System lockout.
But that's the code!
Contacting authority.
I'm out of here.
Oh, seriously, the car too?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a home and auto bundle that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Expect scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. Down in our southern counties, we'd have a better chance of seeing some isolated flooding or some wind damage. High of 88, still going to feel like 90s with the heat index, but a nice break over the weekend. Overnight tonight, we drop to 68. Tomorrow and Sunday, highs will be in the low 80s under partly cloudy skies with a drop in the humidity.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 572 points to 43,559. Market update brought to you by Bolton Construction Services. Bolton is actively hiring experienced HVAC techs with a $2,500 sign-on bonus. As a family-oriented leader in HVAC, Bolton puts people first. Don't miss out. Apply now at boltonservice.com.
Bryce in the pocket, steps up, eludes the rush, throws, end zone, caught, Adam Thielen, touchdown!
He'll toss it that way to Hampton, and he is in. Touchdown, Carolina.
Bailey, shotgun, snap left hashes, QB keeper, dives forward, touchdown. Bailey is third of the night.
Cooper faces up with 5 and 4, drives Davis, spins, waiting, fades away, and hits! Game over! Series over! Sebastian!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox producing the show. It does feel like there's some Friday news dumps happening. There's a lot of stuff just trickling out in the news today. We'll try to shine a spotlight on it, so as you move towards your weekend, you're at least in the know, and hopefully you have a little bit of a entertaining time to go with it. And as always, to start that, let's go ahead and fire off the Big 3 at 3.
number 1.
Let's start with the latest news out of Panthers training camp, shall we? The latest example of Dave Canales learning from his first year as a head coach and applying those lessons to his second year as head coach. We're going to see the starters play more in the preseason. We have the audio of it. Here's Dave Canales on Bryce Young and the others who will play in. He's talking about the first 2 preseason games.
We have a mix of veteran players, but it's predominantly a pretty young team, and I just can't pass up the opportunities. Like the reps in game are valuable, but I think that it goes to the night before when guys know they're going to go out there. They got to make a decision, to play football, and so it starts the night before with the prep. You start thinking about your plan, taking care of your body, making sure you get your rest. You get up, it's your nutrition plan in the morning, body readiness, kind of just like your full game day routines. Those are so valuable. We have three opportunities to do that, in this preseason. And I just really want to take advantage of that. Plus, it's a bunch of new guys playing together on defense and a couple of new guys on the offensive side. We have a little more continuity there, but I just love the thought of them going through that plan, having a first 15 type of thought process, and taking advantage of the preparation.
That's a lot of ways to say. Last year, we didn't play much in the preseason, and we had maybe the worst start a football team has ever had to the regular season. So this year, we're going to play some more. Reaction appropriate. I don't know what he was saying. It's the night before. You got to make a decision to play. You make the decision, coach. They're players. They're not making a decision to play football. I guess you could argue they're making a decision to get their minds right, but you hope that's not a decision. That's already made for them. My point is this. Last year, they started ridiculously bad. Through 2 games, offense horrendous, defense somehow worse, quarterback getting benched, defense on the way to being the worst statistical defense in the history of football. So, yeah, it's like, you know what? I'm going to change things up. I'm going to do something different in the preseason, and I respect you for making the move, right? I respect you for making the move. Because you may not understand. Sometimes football coaches are a bit stubborn. That wasn't me doing it wrong. That was the players doing it wrong. We're doing the same thing. No. Dave Canales at least has the foresight and everything to take a step back and say, we'll change it up a little bit. I think Bryce Young should play a bunch. I think Tedero McMillan should play a bunch. And if Bryce is out there, I think the offensive line should be out there because you don't want Bryce behind a poor offensive or backup offensive line. And then you measure the veterans elsewhere. I don't think Thielen needs to prove a lot. Hunter Renfrow may want to get the rust knocked off if he's healthy, but that's about it. Not everybody. Chuba Hubbard doesn't have to be out there a bunch. But I think there are certain guys that need to start the season fast, and playing in the preseason can help that. That's number 1. Let's hit number 2.
Number 2.
All right, everybody. If you are an old school football/sports fan and you're a big pearl clutcher, you might want to sit down and you might want to identify where your pearls are. Because a high school athlete in the state of North Carolina is making $600,000 per year. Shout out to Brian Murphy, WRAL Sports investigative reporter. You can go check the entire article out on WRAL.com. WRAL Sports Fan, few different places. The state board, now that NIL is allowed in the state of North Carolina, the state board requires athletes to report the deals to their schools and then requires the schools to report them to their governing body. And then the governing body has to provide a summary to the state board by June 30th of each year. Obviously, with it being August 1st, June 30th has passed. According to the summary, this again, Brian Murphy's reporting, 12 athletes at 11 North Carolina high schools signed a total of 17 NIL deals. One deal was a $1.2 million deal. Now, we can those summaries don't identify names. They don't say which athlete made what, just kind of a more broader numbers explanation. But there was this lawsuit from Faison Brandon's family, Faison Brandon being a Grimsley High School quarterback in the Greensboro area, one of the top quarterbacks in the country and on recruiting websites.
Like the top guy.
Depending on which one you're looking at,
Yeah.
it's 1, 2, or 3, and you're splitting hairs at 5 stars. In that, his lawsuit is essentially what brought NIL legal to the state of North Carolina, and the complaint said that the cumulative financial impact to Brandon by not allowing NIL at the time was more than $1 million. So, ipso facto, it might be a logical connection of dots to say Faison Brandon has a $1.2 million 2-year endorsement with just one company. With just one company. Many are speculating that it could be a deal he signed with Leaf Trading Cards, which would be, by the way, a trading card deal is not attached to a team. He's committed to Tennessee, chose from a Final Four that included NC State at his commitment. I'm not sure NC State knew the financial waters they were swimming in. If a kid's making $600,000 at least per year in high school, that is crazy. And you know what's funny? If Faison Brandon doesn't go on to be like an NFL player or a Heisman candidate or whatever that is, people are going to act like the money is to blame, right? Oh, he got it too early. Oh, he was spoiled. Oh, if he didn't get that. When in actuality, if he doesn't go on to all of those things, that's why this money should be allowed, right? Because he would have, at one point in his life, been worth this and was not allowed to cash in on it, right? We were talking earlier about like what LeBron would have made in high school. And it's like, you know what? I don't think LeBron's going to look back on his career and go, I'm really missing that $2 million I could have made as a senior because he's worth $1 billion. It's the ones that were valuable and worth something in high school that didn't pan out that are really going to regret it. Faison, hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he's, we're looking at a first-round pick 4 or 5 years from now, and he goes and makes millions and millions of dollars, and $600,000 feels like small change. But it doesn't right now. And finally, number 3 in the Big 3 at 3.
Number 3.
The Hall of Fame game was last night. Preseason NFL football. I'll tell you what, it wasn't necessarily good football, but there was some good amongst the football. Do we want a full breakdown of all 3 carries for Omarion Hampton, the UNC first-round running back for the Chargers? You may say, but Tim, I thought he only had 2 carries. 1 was called back on a penalty. I'm counting it.
Okay.
Film still matters.
3 touches of the football.
First carry, I gave him a plus for decision, plus for execution. It was a short yardage carry. Got the first down. Then it was a penalty and it didn't matter. Second carry, gave him a plus for decision, plus for execution. Read the whole, good vision, popped through, shook off the first tackle. Never let the first guy get you on the ground. Pickup of 8, beautiful. Third carry, it was 3rd and 3 at the 6-yard line going in. I give him plus for decision, minus for execution. Bounced it out. I don't have a decision problem with the decision. There was room out there. At some point, he has to remember he's 6 foot, 220 pounds. Put his foot in the ground and go get the first. Kind of tried to outrun a guy and then almost, they just chopped his ankles down and he didn't get the first down. Got to get it when you're that guy, when you're that size. He'll learn. Overall, good day. It was really nice to see Nyheim Hines out there, who is now going by Nyheim Miller Hines, I believe. NC State running back from more than a handful of years ago now, but battled for 2 years an injury that he sustained in a jet ski accident that, by reports, was not his fault. Somebody else being maybe a little reckless. But he was back out there, showed some life, right? You're always worried about those long-term injuries. Do you still have the same explosion? Had a punt return where he made a couple guys miss, didn't gain many yards, but he was shifty laterally, and then had at least one run out to the right where it was like, ooh, that looks like the Nyheim Hines we know. With Najee Harris being hurt for the Chargers, there's some reps to be had in that backfield. If Miller Hines can grab him, that can be something that maybe sparks his career back up. And then, of course, Panther legend Kyle Allen was out there playing for the Detroit Lions. At one point in time for the Carolina Panthers, Kyle Allen was the first quarterback in NFL history to win his first 5 starts without throwing an interception. 5 games, 5 wins, 0 interceptions. Well, he had 2 interceptions last night in the Hall of Fame game. The first one was a real coach is not going to be happy with those. Outbreaking route, far side of the field, left it on the inside. It's a pick six waiting to happen, and it should have been. I don't know how the defensive player got caught, but it led to a touchdown. Actually, it led to a field goal. Excuse me. Why am I correcting details from the Hall of Fame game?
That's a great question, Tim. Why are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was actually a 3rd and 4, not a 3rd and 3. You're like, yeah, big picture stuff here, Tim. Let's move on.
Yep.
Let's do it. Let's move on. That's the Big 3-3 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Moving on to tomorrow, UNC football starts training camp. What is their camp all about? Stick around.
Heineken Silver, world-class light beer with only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. Why world-class? Because it has a crisp and superior taste. That's world-class. It has only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. That's very world-class. So, if I'm seen drinking it, by association, am I world-class? Oh yeah, Heineken Silver, world-class light beer with only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Hey, Daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So, let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday. The very first Tuesday.
New scratch-off tickets are available on the first Tuesday of every month.
Announcer said first Tuesday.
Brand new scratch-offs, brand new fun. Now from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Every first Tuesday. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Movement on that offensive line this week because of the injuries. If there's some growing pains going on, Lopez is going to take a shot to the end zone, lofts one to the corner, and the ball is caught. Is he in the end zone? Yes, touchdown, Jeremiah Webb.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Training camp starts tomorrow for the North Carolina Tar Heel football team, a.k.a. Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heel football team. First training camp as a head coach in college for Bill Belly. Still seems crazy just to say that out loud. Like, it feels like he's been here a long time now, been in the Triangle making moves. He was at ACC Media Days and everything. Still, I'm sitting here going, is Bill Belichick really going to show up tomorrow? Is he really going to have a whistle and be barking at 19-year-olds to do their job? Is that really going to happen? Yeah, I think that's exactly what I think is going to happen, which is just insane. Kind of speaking of, just to mix in some current events here, with for those of you that haven't heard, Micah Parsons demanded a trade, requested a trade, but it felt a lot like a demand on his social media today from the Cowboys. Terry McLaurin still holding in with the Commanders. He's requested a trade. When do you think we get our really first high-profile college football holdout? Just with training camp starting, you see like a starting quarterback suddenly throw the brakes out and say, if you want me to show up tomorrow, I'm going to need an extra $500K.
We saw it back in the spring with was it Nico
Iamaleava?
Yeah.
But again, that's
in Tennessee because he's basically
spring's a little different, I would say.
Yeah, but it was so kind of like that.
Yeah, and then
now he's at UCLA.
They called his bluff and he bounced, and he said it wasn't about money; it was about competing, and he went to a much worse team.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
Like, you're on the college football playoff last year as a starter, and we're going to be a starter again. But sure, go on.
But also, I would say he overestimated his leverage. At some point, somebody's going to have the leverage, right? There's going to be a quarterback. There's going to be a stud edge rusher who looks at the rest of the depth chart and goes, oh, there's not many good people behind me. And they're going to try. And I'm just fascinated to see how it's going to work. And I feel kind of, as bad as you can feel for somebody like Bill Belichick. You made the jump from NFL to college right about the same time all the really annoying problems with the NFL are coming with you to college. He's probably like, this is great. I don't have to negotiate anything. I can just go to college as soon as they sign that letter of intent. They can't go anywhere for 4 years. Actually, they can. Transfer portal's legal. What? And actually, you're going to be negotiating a lot. Teams can pay players now. Oh, man, this is the same thing I just left. All right, let's talk UNC. UNC, their quarterback situation, I've talked a ton about. I think they need to name a starter. I think it's probably Gio Lopez, and I think they need to start, even if it isn't Gio Lopez, whoever's the starter, they need to start pumping confidence into that individual, letting them know he's their guy. But outside of that, this team is still the biggest mystery in the triangle. This team is still the biggest mystery in the triangle. It's almost like if you're looking at Duke, State, and UNC, I feel like I forget the old guy's name. The new version is Wayne Brady. The let's make a deal. I feel like I'm going, we can offer you very good defense, transfer a quarterback, projected to finish 6th in the ACC, talking Duke. We can offer you rising sophomore quarterback, showed flashes last year, 2 new coordinators, but a little bit of stability in the roster. We're talking NC State. Or I can offer all of the money in my wallet and whatever's behind door number 2. And that's UNC. And I might have no money in my wallet, and it might be a zonk behind the door, or it could be a brand new car. It could be a boat. It could be a camper. Could be the new dinette set. I don't know, whatever they were giving away back in the day on Let's Make a Deal. It's truly a grab bag. Even some of the players that we think we can depend on for the Tar Heels are really still question marks, right? Somebody we've talked about like Jordan Shipp, a wide receiver. Everybody's telling me he's going to be great, and by all accounts, his physical abilities are super. But we haven't seen it, right? So it's still a bit of the what's behind door number 2. 14, according to Our Lads, which is a site that does projected starting lineups, and it's not an exact science, but they are much more up to date than other sites that have to wait for like guys to sign and everything. Once they get commitments, they can put them up there. They have 9 of the 11 starters on defense being new transfer portal players. 14 of the 22 players on the defensive 2-deep depth chart are straight out of the portal. Now there's
a lot of fresh faces.
There's some talent there, right? I went and counted the 4 stars. There's Price Yates, a defensive lineman from UConn, Kamori House and Thaddeus Dixon, a linebacker and cornerback from Washington, who kind of followed the younger Belichick, Steve Belichick, who was the defensive coordinator with Washington last year. There's DeAndre Robinson, a D lineman from Florida, Vilbert Smith, an edge from Penn State, Mekhi Gabayor, apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, linebacker from Missouri. So there's some talent there. But there's also, with every transfer, a bit of, well, why are you transferring, right? The Washington guys, a little bit more sense, right? You're following a coach you like, something like that. But it's, I have a feeling Penn State and Florida probably could have done quite a bit of fundraising if those were players that they absolutely didn't want to leave.
Yeah, Brian Murphy, actually, of WRAL, actually posted earlier, about an hour ago on social media, of the 63 UNC players listed as participants in the regular season finale against NC State, 25 remain on the current roster.
And I'm actually surprised it's that high.
Yeah, likewise.
I'm surprised it's that high. I will say the offensive line seems stable-ish. They Austin Blasky, Aiden Banfield, some of these guys went into the portal and then withdrew their name and came back to UNC. Wide receiver group, people are excited about, as I mentioned, Jordan Shipp, Kobe Paysor, kind of the headliners. Running back room led by Davion Goss, who we saw really had one really good flash last year when Omarion Hampton didn't play the second half against Charlotte.
Yeah, I was there for that.
And Goss ran for 100+. I mean, that's about it when it comes to like what we know about this roster. So if anybody is super high on UNC, right, if somebody is voting them into the top 5 in the ACC, if they're super high, you are kind of a cosigner, right? You're just saying, I trust Bill Belichick, and if Bill Belichick says these guys are good, I say these guys are good. And like that happens in life, right? I say it all the time. The way I use it is somebody I trust, right? If I can't watch every single game, I can't watch every single player. So if there ever is a debate about a college basketball player in the Big East, I know I've got somebody that I trust that watches a lot of Big East basketball. Send him a text, and then I might say on the air, like, I would love it if the Hornets drafted so-and-so because someone I trust told me I would. Like, we all have to kind of delegate out some of our evaluation process occasionally, but usually that's because it's someone I interact with a ton. Bill Belichick is just, we're saying, I hope the NFL thing translates to the college thing. And let's be real, I hope the, whatever it is, first 18 years of the NFL thing with the Patriots transfers to the college thing, because the talent evaluation wasn't at the super highest level or the ridiculously high standard that he had set for himself towards the end. So fall camp is in a different way for those within the Tar Heels program about uncovering that mystery, right? Because they don't have to reveal anything to us, right? They don't have to let us in on any secrets, but they've got to uncover some secrets amongst them, right? They have to go figure out what everybody's strengths and weaknesses are and how it works. They have to go figure out, as play callers, what do these guys do well in certain situations? They have to figure it all out. And also figure out where they missed. Oh, I thought this guy was better at XYZ. Turns out that's not his game. We better find somebody that can XYZ pretty well. Like, we thought this edge rusher was going to be better at stopping the run. He's getting pushed around in the run game. Let's see if we have someone else with a little bit more weight in their pants. All right, a little bit heavier anchor. It's actually probably pretty fun, if we're being real, right? If you are a true football psycho, which, let's be real, it seems like the Belichicks are, and there's 3 of them on the staff, and it seems like the Lombardis are, and there's, one on the coaching staff, one in the front office, and it seems like Freddie Kitchens is. Like, if you're a true football psycho, this is the good stuff. You really gotta build it from the ground up. I'm not a huge video game guy, but I do know some friends that do. And like back in the day when you're like, you know what, I'm just going to go start a new profile and go back to the beginning and like crank it up again because my whatever advanced level is becoming a little dull with how often I play. Sometimes you just gotta start it over, see if you still got it. And that's what this UNC training camp starting tomorrow is kind of all about. Did you pick the right guys? And can you make it work? And that's from a skill set and a personality and all that kind of standpoint as well, because you need the right guys that fit together as dudes. You know what I want to ask Bill? Maybe, hopefully, one day we'll get the opportunity. Hopefully he'll come on the show. Bill, invitation always standing. If there's something different he looks for personality-wise for somebody like maybe he was drafting versus someone he's recruiting in college. Like, are you looking for the same things in a 22-year-old that's about to be a pro as you are in a 17-year-old that's about to be a college freshman? Or is there some kind of different – what are you looking for? Because if it's the exact same, that's kind of fascinating. We're all just big, dumb animals, right? Nothing changes between 17 and 23. Speed and the willingness to work hard. I need sweat on the field. That's it. Maybe. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the Dean's List coming up next, including at least one very high-profile happy birthday. Stick around.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. Yes, give me my good friends. Give me that dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Rock out with your favorite bands at Lost 80s Live at Cocoa Booth Amphitheater, August 3rd. Grab your tickets at etix.com today.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car.
How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HOOD for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HOOD for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HOOD.
That'll be 30 even.
That's 90 points! Sorry, that was a lot. Now that I'm getting 3 times the points on food and fuel with the Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card, I get a little too hyped sometimes.
Cool. Would you like your receipt?
In the bag! Sorry, in the bag, please.
Learn more about the everyday, everywhere Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Friday. I'll pass along this little PSA just because somebody that I know in a group chat just got. On a day like today when there's a lot of kind of crazy news coming out, there's news like from our very own WRAL investigative reporter, friend of the show, Brian Murphy, that a high school quarterback or a high school player, quarterback is kind of me connecting the dots, but his reporting is a high school athlete has signed a 2-year, $1.2 million NIL endorsement, a rising senior. Crazy news like Micah Parsons absolutely flamethrowing the Dallas Cowboys in a I want to trade notes app Twitter post or social media post. News like the Athletic reporting that ESPN is potential, or the NFL is going to potentially own as much as 10% of the NFL based on a media deal that they're coming to an agreement on. With so much crazy news going on, double check to make sure the accounts you're reading from on social media are real. Make sure it's not, Adam Schefter, but the T is a plus sign or something like that. Just double check before you go passing stuff along, because there are some really annoying trolls out there that try to get you. And one of them in my group chat just got. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. With that PSA now complete on a Friday, let's fire up the Dean's List.
In school, you always cite your sources.
Yeah, that is true. Well, you could cite a Twitter account that isn't real, right?
Well, there's that too.
Could you bibliography? Actually, that's a whole different. I haven't been in school in a long time. I don't plan on going back. Do you think they teach like high schoolers, middle schoolers to write a bibliography, and it's like Instagram post from XYZ newsmaker, this time, this date? Like how we used to have to say like date of publication on a book.
Oh, yeah.
Like an
APA
encyclopedia,
format?
like all that kind of stuff. Because, if like a politician tweets out, that's probably something you could reference in like your, U.S. history report, and you got to cite that. So you just say like, x.com, July 30th, so-and-so tweeted. Crazy. What is this world coming to? Dean's List, where we give a little extra praise, a few extra accolades to those that deserve it, either directly or indirectly related to the college sports world. Let's start with a hearty happy birthday. 75 years old, Roy Williams. Happy birthday, Roy. I hope there's like a cake with Carolina blue plaid on the icing for you.
Oh, that's a bunch of horse.
I hope it's just a golly darn good cake. Just something dadgummit. It's gonna make your day. Probably some golf involved, I'd assume.
He might be down at Pinehurst or Augusta.
Yeah. Oh, how does he choose between old Pinehurst or Augusta or probably Pebble Beach or wherever else he wants to play? Must
My
be
grandsons are 6 and 5, and I guarantee to you, I'd tell them that situation, they wouldn't shoot the dadgum ball.
Dadgum to you. Roy is 1 of 1. Happy birthday, Roy.
But I'd be damned if I'm on a pattern what we're doing after them. So let's get that straight right now.
He's one of them ones, is what he is. Happy birthday, Roy. In another Dean's List, Stanford. I'm throwing Stanford on the Dean's List. They have hired as their new athletic director former CEO of Nike, John Donahue. The university announced yesterday. Well, okay. Okay, that's a little different. But I like thinking outside the box. College sports are more business than athletics program right now, right? It's almost, you've almost gone from being like an athletic director has gone from being a GM of like a Major League Baseball team to the GM of a minor league baseball team, right? Because the GMs of the minor league baseball team are really running the business. The GMs of the Major League Baseball team are really running the roster. It's more about business. So go get someone that's had success in business.
He's also the chairman of PayPal.
That's probably paying well.
I would hope so.
They say Stanford is aiming for someone who can find an innovative way to support general manager Andrew Luck in the football program while also figuring out a sustainable model for the future of Stanford's Olympic sports. That's not easy in modern sports. To be able to continue to have as robust of an Olympic sports program as Stanford has, and they send 1 billion Olympians every Olympics, and also compete in football, you got to think outside the box to pull that off, so they're going with the Nike CEO. If I'm like Under Armour, I'm calling tomorrow. You guys need a new apparel deal? Do you have a Dean's List you'd like to throw out here, Dennis?
No, I don't. Actually, it was going to be Donahue from Stanford was actually going to be on mine.
Johnny D. I'll throw Wake Forest and Clemson on there. So we talked a bit about Wake Forest's football schedule yesterday. Pro Football Focus gave Wake Forest the easiest power conference schedule award, if you call that an award. ESPN put out similar lists. They also gave Wake Forest easiest power conference schedule designation. ESPN then also, in a different category, gave Clemson the hardest power conference non-conference schedule award. And you may be saying, well, how are they both on it? Like you're rewarding different things. You're putting Wake Forest on the Dean's List for having the easiest schedule, and you're having Clemson on the list for having the hardest schedule that they can choose, right? Because they don't choose their ACC schedule. It's appropriate for where they are in their program build, right? Clemson needs to insulate themselves against a potential down ACC, right? If the ACC isn't good, they still need opportunities for those signature wins because they're chasing CFPs and they got a bunch of NFL players on the team, and they're, quite frankly, Clemson. Wake Forest, on the other hand, new coach, bunch of player turnover, a lot of transfer portal stuff. They need to win games to build culture, right? They need to win games so Jake Dickert can look at everybody and say, when you do what I ask, we'll win games. So you schedule maybe a little bit easier for the first year or two before you start jumping into the deep end, which, by the way, 2027, they're playing Notre Dame in the Charlotte kickoff or whatever. The
Duke's Mayo.
There you go, Duke's Mayo. So you're using your schedules strategically. It's become one of my weird pet projects. One of the things I'm now fascinated by are teams that find all of the value they can in their schedules and the teams that absolutely just go, who's available to play on the 9th? And then just pick one. It seems intentional for those two schools, so I'm putting them on the Dean's List.
Clemson's non-conference schedule includes LSU, South Carolina, Troy, and Furman.
Well, I guess LSU and
South Carolina
are doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Not that Troy is a pushover generally from their conference, but Furman.
Hey, what's Furman? What are they?
FCS?
No, I mean, are they the Muskrats? Are they the Purple Storm? Furman Paladins. Strong Paladins here this year.
Oh, of course.
Obviously. I knew all about them. I knew their color, right? They're purple, right?
Yeah, they are.
All right, yeah, I was
They got to play at Campbell. They play Western Carolina, Presbyterian,
And Clemson.
Hey, it's an in-state rivalry.
Right, sure. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Last Dean's List member we have for today. I guess rising high school senior stud athletes. Because today is the day they can start, actually for two reasons. One, we learned that a few of them are making a huge amount of money. 12 student athletes from 11 schools have signed 17 total NIL endorsements, according to the summary report given to the state board. Some of them 6 figures a year. Crazy.
Yeah, but it's here in North Carolina.
Yes, true. That is all here in North Carolina. And check out Brian Murphy's reporting, WRAL.com, for more details. But also, just from a nationwide recruiting standpoint, today, August 1st, is the first day that college football programs can extend revenue share contract offers to prospects entering their senior year of high school. So schools can now say, contract in writing, enforceable by contract law, this is how much we will pay you to come play for us. Not this year, because this upcoming fall that's starting now, this fall season is still a high school year for them. They can sign for the next year. Do you know what I love about that? It's something that I've been asking for forever in college sports. There should be an offer that you can't take, that is real. The number one piece of advice I give, because I did not get scholarship offers out of high school, right? I was a walk-on, eventually earned the scholarship, so I didn't have the whatever it's called, the all the offers flowing in my inbox and telling rivals in 247, my interest is cool, but they did offer me a scholarship. I didn't have any of that. But when, for whatever reason, probably because of the industry I'm in, sometimes, friends of a friend, family friends, whatever, will ask, hey, we're going through the recruiting process. How should we handle this? We've heard from this coach and this coach. We have this offer and this offer. The only piece of advice I give is find out if that offer is committable. Because a lot of times they'll give you an offer and then you're like, I would like to commit. And they're like, actually, no, you can't. We got to wait to see if these other guys commit first. And you're like, okay, so that offer is not real. Don't treat that one as real. Once you offer a contract with money that they sign and then it's yours. I hated hearing the stories of guys that got verbal offers, verbally committed, and then some 5-star chose the school they were going to, and suddenly there's no room for you. So get the offers in writing that you can sign, that you can finish. That way it's real. Coaches are really losing all their dirty tricks, which is kind of nice. That's the Dean's List here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly and 99.9 The Fan. Last week, although it seems like months ago, we were at ACC kickoff, ACC Media Day, kind of the unofficial official kickoff to football season for the Atlantic Coast Conference in Charlotte. And we had so many interviews, we couldn't even play them all during the shows we were there, so we banked a few. And this is the last one that you haven't heard here on the show yet. It is Logan Taylor, offensive lineman from Boston College. You'll hear that one when we return here on The Drive. Don't go anywhere.
Did you catch Luisito's header?
Yeah, I just recorded it on my new Samsung A36 5G phone I got for free at Total Wireless.
Oh, I'm actually live streaming the whole match with my new Samsung Tab A9 that I also got free at Total Wireless.
I got that tablet too.
And I got that phone too. We both got both. Go!
Switch to Total Wireless and get both the Samsung A36 5G and the Samsung Tab A9 for free. For a limited time while supplies last, valid in store. Requires new phone activation on the Total 5G Unlimited plan or higher external port and ID verification and new activation on the Total 5G Unlimited 6-month tablet plan. Restrictions apply.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So, when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time.
But sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or 2 Bird Dog Combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in the Triangle. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So before the break, I said we were going to hear from Logan Taylor, Boston College offensive lineman, one of the final interviews that we have banked from our time at ACC kickoff. Well, it turns out Logan Taylor, similar to his teammate, we had a hard time getting Lewis Bond on the show as well, as a wide receiver from Boston College. For whatever reason, those don't want to play. So Dennis is working on that. In the meantime, there has been a bunch of breaking news coming through this afternoon. It felt very Friday news dumpy based on how everything is coming out. One, and I don't know why he would have news dumped it, but Micah Parsons requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys and didn't just request a trade. I don't know. The Notes app post that he made looks like it's about 1 billion words. Adam Schefter grabbed, I thought this was appropriate of Adam, thank you, grabbed just some of the highlights from what Micah Parsons said. Here are some of the statements. I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. And then he finishes it with, I have made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. And you know what? It's actually part of me, like I wasn't sure if we were going to get to it, but it was a note I had about the Terry McLaurin trade request because Terry McLaurin had a trade request to the Washington Commanders in as well. And I was kind of proud of how the Panthers had built up their roster, that Terry McLaurin, a wide receiver that good, could demand a trade. And Panthers Twitter didn't immediately go, make it happen, Dan Morgan. I'm like, that's such an improvement on their wide receivers, like just the faith you have in the guys in the room.
Feeling from McLaurin, straight up.
Like just the ridiculous ones. We've got a 4th-round pick for him, right? Just it happens when anytime someone of value makes a trade request elsewhere. But then Micah Parsons made a trade request, and immediately everyone was like, make it happen, Dan Morgan. And I'm like,
for real.
Okay, so now we just learned a little bit more confidence in the wide receiver room than the edge rusher room. All right, it's everything can't be perfect. I don't think either of them are going anywhere, if we're being honest, but I think it could get really ugly with Micah Parsons first, and Jerry Jones will then pay him way over market value just to keep him happy and keep him around.
I am Jimenez on our YouTube live chat. What do the Panthers have to do to get Micah Parsons? Basically, what would it cost?
I saw somebody comparing it to a similar aged Khalil Mack trade when Mack went from, Oakland to Chicago?
Yeah.
And it was 2 firsts, a third, and a fifth, or 2 firsts, a third, and a fourth, something like that for it was Mack, I think a second and a fourth. There were loose picks on the back end on both sides. So essentially 2 firsts plus for Mack, and I actually think Micah Parsons is better than Mack was at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So 2 firsts plus. And then once you get him on your roster, you probably got to give him $40 million a year.
Okay.
That's not cheap.
Nope.
He is good, though.
Yeah, he's outstanding.
Not cheap, but he is good. And he's famous, right? He'll bring a little box office.
Hunter Renfrow, straight up.
Well, I mean, it's Hunter Renfrow. That's at least one of the pluses. Right?
Exactly. That's
2
one
firsts
of the firsts.
plus, and then Hunter Renfrow. And then Hunter turns it down. I'm not playing in Dallas. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have Logan Taylor from ACC Kickoff. Our conversation teed up now. Here it is. Welcome back into 99.9 The Fan. The Drive with Tim Donnelly continues from ACC Kickoff here in Charlotte. We are joined now by Logan Taylor, honorable mention All-ACC offensive lineman, redshirt junior for Boston College. Logan, first of all, thank you very much for stopping by on your tour with the media here with us. We'll start with, and I asked the same question of your teammate Lewis Bond. What kind of travel partners is Coach O'Brien? Now that you guys, I heard there's a private jet involved. You guys are here eating some good food. What's the because you never really know somebody until you travel with them, right? What's Coach O'Brien like on the road?
Yeah, well, first, thanks for having me. Funny you say that. The first thing he talked about this morning when we got with him was he got his first hole-in-one the other day. So he's really up on the whole golf
right.
thing right now, the hole-in-one. So that was a big topic of discussion today on the plane. But no, he's a great guy to travel with. Coach O'Brien has done nothing but help me. He's a great guy, and I totally respect Coach O'Brien.
All right, so I mean, obviously, hole-in-one. Congratulations to Coach, whoever he is. Jealous. But that last part of the answer there, and pull that microphone up to your mouth just a little bit more. That last question or last part of your answer, how much has the program changed? Really, this is year 2, right? He is not your average new college coach, right? He comes with NFL experience, a ton of fame and accomplishments. How has the program changed in the 2 years under Coach O'Brien?
Yeah, I mean, Coach O'Brien came in here and completely changed the program and everything that he does. It's just a completely different program, and that's not saying Coach Hafley did anything wrong. It's 2 different coaches going in 2 different directions. He just attacks every single day with the same mindset, no matter if he's having a good day or a bad day. He's a great coach who's building a great culture. This is a team that I've really bought into what he's trying to instill into us, and I'm very excited about the year.
How do you notice the buy-in, right? Like, is it something, I don't know, a moment, or is it slow over time? Give us the details.
It's completely over time. I mean, no one shows up late to meetings anymore. No one's having to do extra workouts because they're doing bad in school or any of this. Like, they're all just completely bought into what he's trying to distill. It's all about the little things, and I think that's what people are starting to really realize around the BC.
First-class problems on the offensive line, right? This is a question that you ask good programs, but how do you replace a second-round and a fifth-round pick on the offensive line with Trapillo and Kendall not walking through those doors anymore?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, personally, it's hard. Those were my guys. I were there, spent countless hours with them, working, getting in the film room. But that's what BC is. We got young guys. We got old guys. We brought in a new guy, Tommy Matheson. We also have people like Dwayne Alec, Kevin Klein, Eric Stardy. We just have a lot of guys who are willing and wanting to take that next step, and it's very exciting. It is.
Is it different for you specifically as kind of the old head or the veteran, right? You mentioned those guys have been there with you for some time, as maybe a leader for all those new and young guys you just brought up?
Yeah, at first it was definitely a big shock. I mean, I didn't have to be that leader. It didn't feel like I had to be that leader, I should say. But now it just kind of it feels natural. Like it's not just for me, but it's also for the players, which I enjoy, because it's never about the one person on the team. It's always about the whole team. And I enjoy it every single day. Show up every single day and just work.
One more question about your teammates from last year, just because he's a guy that I really enjoyed at events like this, and I may have on air predicted that he'd be a late first-round pick. Why wasn't Donovan Ezeraku in the first round? What were they missing as somebody that obviously battled with him in practice a bunch?
Yeah, I mean, I love Donovan. We've had our ups and our downs with fights and everything verbally, but he's a great guy. I mean, we've went through so many battles just for the 2 years that I got to go against him, and why he didn't go to the first round, that's out of my control for sure. But that doesn't matter. He's in the league now, and he's going to have a long career, and that's all that matters.
We're talking with Logan Taylor, Boston College redshirt junior offensive lineman, honorable mention All-ACC last season. I'm sure you've heard it, but it's part of the story of your offseason. One of your teammates from last year, Thomas Castellanos, transfers to Florida State, and he was quoted by On3 saying, I feel like I tore the ACC up by my damn self for the last 2 years, and now I'm with a squad. As somebody that was with him for the last 2 years, how do you react to that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty hurt that he said that, considering we were a very good offensive line the years that he was here. But then again, we were on to bigger and better things. We got two quarterbacks who are going to take complete control of the offense, and that's what we need. I wish him all the best at Florida State, but ultimately we're in a better place now, and that's all that matters.
All right, let's talk about the new guys. Lonergan and Grayson James, how are they taking control? And is it a challenge when you're trying to get ready for a season with still up in the air which one's going to be the guy taking that first snap?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Those guys are great. Coach always says iron sharpens iron, and that's what that group is doing. I mean, that's what a lot of these positions are doing at BC now. And that's great, because that's what great teams need. And I would say the biggest thing is, the nice thing about offensive line is it doesn't matter who's standing back in the quarterback position, because there's only one of them, and you got to protect them no matter who's back there. So it really doesn't make a difference who's back there. Thankfully, I'm not the one that has to make that decision. That's above my pay grade. So I'm just thankful to have two guys like that going into camp, because it honestly takes the team to a whole other level.
From the outside, Lonergan a bit more mobile, maybe using his legs. Does that change things at all for you as an offensive lineman, knowing either keep your block going a little bit longer, but also, heck, if that guy's on the outside, you don't exactly know where the defense is trying to go if he's on the move.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, that definitely helps a lot. But I mean, Grayson also has that as well. Grayson can move, and that's the nice thing, is they're two guys that can move, but they can also throw the ball as well, and they're very intelligent. And that was a big thing, is they're intelligent, and that's what we need at that position, because our offense is not an offense where we're just playing backyard football. That was 2-3 years ago. That's gone. We're here to play actual pro football, and that's what we're going to do.
All right, last question for you, and I did the same thing with Lewis Bond, your teammate, wide receiver. You remember a couple months ago the viral question about could 100 guys beat one gorilla?
Yeah.
All right, so what I'm doing is you're going to have 96 randoms, but you get to take you and 3 teammates into that group to lead the 100 men. Mm-hmm. Who are the 3 top draft picks off the squad?
I'm taking Dwayne Alec, I'm taking Drew Barrett, and I'm taking Pop Sy.
Emphatic. There was no doubt there.
No doubt. Those are the 3 I'm taking. All 3 offensive linemen.
I was just going to say, just so you know, Lewis took all defensive linemen.
All defensive linemen. That's
so
fine.
An offensive guy might, I don't know. You might have to go have a conversation with him about who's on the fighting a gorilla squad.
I'll definitely have to talk to him about that.
Just to clue you in on that one. Logan, we appreciate you for taking the time. Good luck this
Awesome.
season.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was Logan Taylor, Boston College offensive line. Dennis, I'll put it on you. We asked both Boston College players if remember that the viral question, right? 100 guys against one gorilla, who would win? I said you get 3 picks from your team, right? I said you could pick anyone on the team. You're going to get 96 random people, 3 teammates, yourself against the gorilla. Who are you picking? Lewis Bond, no hesitation. Boom, boom, boom. 3 defensive linemen. Logan Taylor, no hesitation. Boom, boom, boom. 3 offensive linemen. What position is the best to bring with you in the fight?
Oh, I mean, it's either offensive or defensive line.
You got to pick one.
Give me defensive line.
By the way, I think I might go like if we have a good tight end room or something like that, good, strong running back room, not a bunch of scat backs, because I think the move might be to tire him out. Stay shifty.
That's why I'm going defensive line.
They're more shifty than the NFL or the offensive lineman. I don't know. It could go girth with the offense. It's an interesting question. Any other sport getting in the mix?
No.
Yeah, I think you got to go football players. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, we have football at 4. Let me ask you the question so you can ponder it during the break. On the open market right now with their current contracts, would any Carolina Panther bring back a first-round pick straight up or more in a trade? Stick around.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Open the lid on a carton of Bluebell Homemade in the Shade, and you'll have it made, so to speak. It's a combination of our top-selling homemade vanilla ice cream with a swirl of rich chocolate fudge sauce. Enjoy an instant classic.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your neighborhood Food Lion.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Expect scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. Down in our southern counties, we have a better chance of seeing some isolated flooding or some wind damage. A high of 88, still going to feel like 90s with the heat index, but a nice break over the weekend. Overnight tonight, we drop to 68. Tomorrow and Sunday, highs will be in the low 80s under partly cloudy skies with a drop in the humidity.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. The Dow Jones at the closing bell down 542 points to 43,588.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4. You can set your watch by it at 4 o'clock. We're talking pigskin. You can also set your watch by this. At 5:30, we're going to have a really cool announcement.
Yes.
You're going to want to tune in at 5:30 for an awesome announcement.
Something pretty special at that time.
That's what we call a tease. Trying to bait the hook a little bit, keep you around. Football at 4. I asked the question before the break. I'll give you a refresher. Looking at the Carolina Panthers roster, would any Panther draw a first-round pick in a trade? Any of them. Now, before you go, I had the same response. It all starts, or this entire conversation, the ignition of it, the catalyst, is an article by Bill Barnwell on ESPN.com, where he asks that question about every roster in the NFL. Who on the roster would bring back a first-round pick, or who would bring back the most first-round picks? And I, like probably what many of you just had the initial gut instinct of course, yes, somebody does. But then you start thinking about it and you go, you know what? Maybe I should have thought before I just screamed yes immediately, right? Maybe I should have thought this one through. Now, right out of the gate, they say Teteroa McMillan would bring back a first. He was just the 8th overall pick. Of course he has to bring back a first. But then you start thinking and you're like, well, wait a second. If the Panthers were trying to trade the 8th overall pick right after making the 8th overall pick, there would probably be some people out there going, I don't want to know what they know. So you'd at least have to wait a month, let him flash in the game a couple of times before you're getting back a first. And I definitely don't think you'd get back something from a team that is a bad team, essentially, that kind of expects to be near the top of the draft, which is where he was taken. The next two that immediately jump to your brain are the defensive guys, Derek Brown, J.C. Horn. Because they're talented enough, point blank. But they're not exactly steals on their current contracts, right? They're, you hear this a lot when a player is holding out and demanding a trade, like the Micah Parsons or the Terry McLaurin situation, where you're going like, okay, this is what you'd have to give up, and you'd have to then give them the big fat contract they want. In this case, you just have to take on the contract, but it's not a huge value as of yet, right? Both of those contracts, I should say, were a bit of projection from the Carolina Panthers, where they're saying, we expect you to get better, we expect you to take the next step, and when you do, these contracts will be good values for us. But if they haven't done so yet, other teams don't have the same insight into the player, right? That I don't know if they're saying like, we know Derek Brown on a day-to-day basis is going to make sure that contract is a value. They don't know that, so they're probably less likely to do that. I don't know if they're bringing back a first.
Also, you got to factor in injury history with those guys as well.
Both of them.
Especially Derek Brown missing pretty much all last season with the knee injury, and J.C. Horn has played in 37 of 68 possible games.
Last year was really the first year that he
played 15.
Yeah, and that's immediately then the contract comes, which is kind of built in. And then Bryce Young was another one I thought was interesting. But a first-rounder is a lot even if you believe in him, right? Because I do believe Bryce Young still has his believers around the league. I think he also has his detractors. But even if you are one of the believers, his contract is coming up quick. Right after the 3rd year is when the clock really gets loud, ticking in the corner for paying a quarterback. Who else are the options here? I don't believe you're getting, as great as Robert Hunt is, I don't believe you're getting a first-round pick back for a highly paid interior offensive lineman. As exciting and fun as maybe a Chuba Hubbard is, because he's this mid-round pick that you've turned into something, he's a running back that's already been paid and he's in his mid-20s. You're not getting it back. I don't even know who else to suggest here. And that is kind of a harrowing thought exercise about this year's Panthers.
Yeah, you're going to give him a first for Xavier Legette?
I don't think he should have been a first-round pick when he was made a first-round pick.
I mean, pick 32. I mean, you're literally on the border.
And I would say his value has gone down since then. Even if you think there's the opportunity for him to potentially get back to his original value, I don't think after a less than 500-yard receiving season, it's like, well, yeah, now you're worth a mid-first. So even if you're looking at like a contender, right? Even if you're going to a Chiefs, somebody who thinks they're going to be picking in the late 20s, I still think you have a hard time getting a first-round pick for any of these players. I think that's where maybe Horn and Brown come more into effect. But then you'd have to find a team that is contending and has a bunch of cap space, or at least isn't super in cap jail. That's a tough spot. So looking at the Panthers roster, when you think about it like this, they don't have the dude. Or if they do, they haven't emerged to where they are universally the dude, right? Like the reaction right now for Micah Parsons, right? The news breaking earlier today, he has requested a trade. The reaction from fan bases all across the league is, that's one of those dudes you pay. You don't let that guy get here. Now, whether you like him or don't like him, you like his podcast, you don't like his podcast, you look at the production, you go, oh, they got one. If a Panther held out, is there anyone that all across the league everyone would be going, that's the guy you pay? You don't mess that one up. I don't know if they do. So this is kind of like, it's probably not the coolest thing I do in my personality and conversation. Probably one of the more annoying things I do, but I just can't help myself. So I apologize if I've done this to you. It's outside my realm of control. Whenever somebody says, like so-and-so is a top 5 quarterback in the league, right? Just in conversation, they're just throwing it out there. I'm the guy that goes, all right, name your 5, right? If you're just a Philadelphia Eagles fan and you go, Jalen Hurts is a top 5 guy, I go, all right, let's pause the conversation. We can come back to the point you're trying to make. Give me your 5, because once you sit down and actually think it through, you realize he's not, right? You go, all right, well, there's Mahomes, there's Allen, there's Jackson, and then you start doing some quick math. You're like, I guess then Hurts. It's like, that's not true. Or it's same thing with like Hall of Famers, right? Someone will be like, when Matt Ryan gets into the Hall of Fame, and I'm like, all right, let's back this up. Let's think about it. Is he a Hall of Famer? This is one where, yeah, exactly. It's like, we can go back to whatever conversation we're having, but when you kind of remove some of the dust from the picture and zoom in a little bit, you realize what you're saying is not as true. I think going into this year for the Carolina Panthers, there is a tremendous amount of optimism, and there should be. Relative to what the Panthers have been in the past, I think this year is an opportunity for them to take a major step forward. But we've had people in the YouTube comments. I've had people on social media, people in real life that see me out in public, start talking about double-digit wins, talking about winning the division, talking about taking maybe 3 or 4 steps forward rather than the one crucial step. And I kind of want to use this as the thing. It's like, all right, well, let's just – who out there would get a first-round pick back? Because if you're going to win in 10, 11, 12 games, if you're going to win a division, somebody on your team has to be seen as high value around the league. Like who is it? And I like the harrowing nature of the realization is I don't think they have one, which is why we should be pleased with an 8-win season this year. Should be pleased that if you're going into the last 4 games of the year, which will be after their bye, right? Because they have that real late bye, then 4 consecutive games. If it's the bye week and you're not mathematically eliminated going out of the bye, there is something to be proud of with that. And then you hope next offseason, after another healthy year from J.C. Horn, potentially a Pro Bowl All-Pro year from J.C. Horn, he enters into the list of, with that contract, you hope a couple other corners, because the market is high, are getting paid $30 million a year, along with Stingley and Sauce Gardner, and the $25 million a year that J.C. Horn is getting paid is more of a deal. And it's like, all right, there's one. And you hope Derek Brown gets after the quarterback. Derek Brown walks out of this season with nothing crazy, but like 6 sacks, in addition to the run-stuffing nature that he's shown. All right, boom, now we got 2 guys that are bringing back a first-rounder. Needless to say, if Bryce Young plays like the last 3 games of last year, he's bringing back multiple firsts. Now that's a big if, right? Because it's the best 3-game stretch of his career, and it's not close. But if he plays like that, then all right, now you got a couple. If Teteroa McMillan has 1,000 yards, boom, there's another. Now you're into the group where that it's not do you have one, it's how many do you have. And you hope that you draft well again. Because the crazy part is the real value jumps are when, say, a 3rd-round pick, Princely Umanmielen, one of my guys, if he throws up a funny number in sacks, now you got a 3rd-rounder that might bring back something in a trade. And that's where the talents, the roster depth and everything really start to build up. But before you go I don't want to say talking sideways or getting crazy because fandom is about that. But before you maybe place a bet on, the teased win total of the Panthers, they're getting 11. Before you do that, just take that hard look, right? Take that hard look because we've all been caught up. It happens to me all the time. It actually happens to me more in college basketball than anything else because I get so wrapped up in the triangle. I'm like, 3 of the top 20 teams are right here in the triangle. And then it's like, wait, all right, go look at the top 25. And I'm like, okay, I guess they're good. All right. Fine. Okay. Auburn, I guess, is good. Florida's good. And then by the end, you're like, all right, but 3 of the top 34?
Yeah.
It's like when I think about it, 3 of the top 37, that's still good, right? Like you just get caught up. So this is a good way. Ask which ones would get on the open market a first-round pick or more straight up for the player. And it's like, yeah, they definitely have a couple. Well, okay, maybe they have none, but a couple of guys with good seasons next off season. It's like that's kind of where you settle.
I mean, let's be honest. Outside of some quarterbacks, very few players would require a first-round pick for a trade. Very few. Like Micah Parsons, yeah. Like Justin Jefferson will probably require a first. Jamar Chase, but again, these are like elite level players. Like Terry McLaurin wouldn't require a first.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and he's a great receiver.
I think you look at contracts, so you have to look for the good contracts, guys that are overpaid, not. And position. I think you got to look.
Sure.
You got to look edge rusher. You got to look left tackle. You got to look corner. You got to look for the best receivers, like the Jamar Chases, the Justin Jeffersons are bringing them back. There's definite guys out there on the good units. There's probably 2 or 3 on the good units that bring back a first.
Yeah.
I don't see any on the Panthers, and that's just another example of a checkpoint that they will have to hit on their way to contenderdom. Feel like the Wizard of Oz. They're on their way to contenderdom. Ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-dee-doop. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the ladder challenge coming up. I say it all the time. We're all about accountability here. When you really stink, you got to eat that. And when you're good, we let you gloat. I'm gloating when we come back. Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I know the hurricane season came to an end. Another year with a loss to Florida in the Eastern Conference Finals, 2 of the last 3. But it's been a great year, and it's going to be a great summer with all that cap room the Hurricanes have. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, from free agency to trades to the draft. We'll have player interviews, special sit-down with Rod Brindamore that he doesn't even know about yet. He'll do it, don't worry. Just stay tuned to the Canes Corner podcast on YouTube. Search Canes Corner and wherever you get your podcast.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
End sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There are certain days where I get real, regretful about how open I champion our accountability stuff here on the show, where I tell everybody, hey, if you make a prediction, you get it right, gloat. We want to hear it. We want you to boast. We want you to brag. We want you to have fun. I feel like I actually just saw mic'd up at Patriots practice where Mike Vrabel was getting mad at Drake May for not celebrating touchdowns in practice. He was like, no, if you throw a touchdown, you get down with the guys. You go celebrate. How many touchdowns did you score last year? And Drake started hesitating, and Vrabel goes, the answer is not enough. You didn't score enough. That's always the answer. So when you get one, celebrate. But then also, right, when you can't hide from it when you do bad. So when I make a really bad ladder challenge pick, I'm always sitting here, hand up, like that was on me. I think, how long have we been doing the ladder challenge?
This was 9 months.
9 months. In the 9 months we've been doing the ladder challenge, undoubtedly my best pick yesterday. We should have grabbed the audio. I picked Trey Lance to throw a touchdown pass on the first drive of the Hall of Fame preseason game, which inherently just naturally means absolutely nothing. And then I even went further to say I could see something like a Trey Lance first drive down there on the goal line, play action to Omari and Hampton, roll out, dump off to a tight end. When I tell you that is exactly what happened. If you didn't watch the Hall of Fame game, you just watched the first touchdown in the Minds Theater listening to me say it. It was on the nose. And I was as excited as probably everyone other than Trey Lance's family watching that play in a game that mattered not at all. Even Chargers fans were probably like, all right, nice throw. I, meanwhile, was like, that's exactly what I said. Sitting on the couch by myself. There was a plus 1,000 bet just the Trey Lance to throw a touchdown pass on his first drive. So that turned my $10 into 110. And I believe, Dennis,
even if I won yesterday, I was not going to get up to $110.
And with that being the end of July,
that's right.
The trophy comes back to its home, baby.
Back to its home? I think it's just on visitation right now.
No, not at all. Full custody.
Oh, okay. Because I've had it for 6 of the 9 months. That's fine.
I loaned it to you, but now it's back to its rightful home.
Okay.
Thank you to Trey Lance, legend. What was it, Will Dissly? I think it was Will Dissly. Whatever tight end it was.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter at all. I should have bet more specifics. I should have gone find someone could took more of those details in.
Now you would have blown it.
$10 for 110. I hit it. Everything I thought about that first drive happened. The only thing I missed was Dan Campbell being an absolute lunatic and putting a defensive player and a linebacker out there to return the opening kick, and they fumbled it away.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, and then he was the game started. It felt like week 8 of like a Thursday night football game. Dan Campbell, known for being a little out there, put a defensive player in to return the opening kick, ran it right up the middle, fumbled, and before an offensive player even got on the field, we had our first review of the Hall of Fame game. It's like, oh, we are in mid-season form. All right, cool. But still, that's a win, which means for the month of August, the trophy will be right here in this studio. Dennis, you can bring it over during the next commercial.
Okay, that's fine.
Would you like the honor? Actually, we need to decide how we're doing the ladder challenge for August.
Are we going to go back to the classic between minus 500, minus 1,000 bets?
One of the options. We can either continue with this free-for-all. You can bet anything you want whenever you want, or we can go back to finding the likely to win bets between minus 500, minus 1,000, rolling over the winnings and trying to do it that way.
Let's go back to that.
All right, we'll do it. And we can change it up in the future if we want to. With that being said, why don't you take the
well, you won last month, sir.
Fine.
You take it over. You won last night.
The bet I prepared was of the old version.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. No, actually, I have one here. We're good. I have one that's already been placed. I'm taking Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
Versus the Rays. I believe that game is tonight.
In Tampa.
Under 0.5 steals.
Okay.
It's minus 750. Would turn my $10 into 1133 as we just get started with a new month of this roll it over ladder challenge where we, kind of through the beauty of compound interest try to win a bunch. But it is minus 750. He was taken off the mound during his last pitching start due to some injury stuff. 6 straight balls. Trainer came out to look at him and he was taken off the mound. I don't see somebody that's like risking injury, trying to steal and slide into second base, arms above his head if you've just recently had a bit of an injury scare. So give me Shohei under 0.5 steals.
This still has cramping issues.
Yeah, it's still. If you're a pitcher, I don't think you're messing with the upper body at all. And I don't think he's sliding in feet first to a second base steal, not stealing third. Shohei, stay tethered to the base.
Okay. I'm going to go same thing, actually, Dodgers and Rays tonight. Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the L.A. Dodgers. Give me Clayton Kershaw. Earned runs allowed 1+. It's a minus 800. So my $10 will turn into $11.25.
If we were doing the other version, I was going to go Clayton Kershaw over in the strikeouts. I just like watching the big curve. But we're not going that way. And so instead I'm going with Shohei under 0.5 steals. We'll see who's in the lead as of Monday. So this one actually could have been anywhere over the weekend. Ladder challenge about this time every single show. Now on the drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's see. Let's actually go to the Panthers. We haven't talked enough Panthers here today. So we have some audio for you coming out of Panthers training camp. They had a practice earlier today. They were in pads, correct?
That's correct.
I saw the clips. Want to make sure they were from today. And they are going to be in pads tomorrow.
They are FanFest, Bank of America.
So we are in the dog days of training camp.
I'll be heading down there.
Got to put the pads on back-to-back days.
By the way, 1 week from today, their first preseason game.
Nice.
Against Cleveland.
Nice. Take that, Cleveland. And that's a good warm-up, isn't it? That's like putting the FCS team at the beginning of your schedule.
Exactly. That's our Furman. Let's go.
Furman is catching strays today.
As they should.
Shout out to the Paladins. Dave Canales spoke to the media after the practice today, and we learned a bit of the preseason plan where Bryce Young and the starters will play in at least the first 2 preseason games. Here's Dave Canales in his own words.
We have a mix of veteran players, but it's predominantly a pretty young team, and I just can't pass up the opportunities. Like the reps in game are valuable, but I think that it goes to the night before when guys know they're going to go out there. They got to make a decision, to play football, and so it starts the night before with the prep. You start thinking about your plan, taking care of your body, making sure you get your rest. You get up, it's your nutrition plan in the morning, body readiness, kind of just like your full game day routines. Those are so valuable. We have three opportunities to do that, in this preseason. And I just really want to take advantage of that. Plus, it's a bunch of new guys playing together on defense and a couple of new guys on the offensive side. We have a little more continuity there, but I just love the thought of them going through that plan, having a first 15 type of thought process, and taking advantage of the preparation.
I just think young players need more preseason. I think it's sometimes that simple. Until you've established yourself in the NFL, until you are, one of those, it's another training camp grizzled old veterans, you just need more training camp. And I've actually changed on this, by the way, which is crazy. I know no one's allowed to flip-flop in sports media. But there was a time, I was probably drinking the Sean McVay's a genius Kool-Aid a little too much. And the Rams just didn't play anybody in preseason, just ever, just no starters. You look out there, you caught guys that were going to be, peddling Kias on a car dealership a couple weeks later. That was the only people they paid in a preseason. They played in a preseason. And I was kind of like, if that's the way he does it, the analytics must say it's great, it's awesome, it's grand. But what I think I missed is Sean McVay knew at the time he had a super veteran team, right? Even the young guys like the Cooper Kupps and I think Jalen Ramsey may have been they had been through some stuff. So there was going to be no surprises and no jitters to work off by week 1. Most teams are not that veteran. Most teams, I think, have some things, some work they need to do prior to that game 1, and I think the Panthers learned that lesson the hard way last year. Because Bryce Young had the one series, right, and it was glorious. And
up on the road at Buffalo against their second, third string guys.
Just boom, 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 touchdown. He's great. Hall of Fame. Book it. Next. And then the first play of the first game of the regular season for the offense, little play action, little get my feet settled, interception. Wouldn't it have been glorious if they went back out there for a preseason second series, and that was the interception? Because the craziest part about that whole deal is Bryce played really bad for 2 games. They benched him, and by the time he came back, played much better from that point forward. How awesome would it have been if he got those 2 games out in the preseason? Then the third preseason game started to figure it out, and then by the regular season, we would have had post-bench Bryce. I'm not saying that's exactly what it would have happened, but it's a possibility.
I know we were critical of it last year with Canales that Bryce and the offense didn't play, or even the defense didn't play in the first 2 preseason games. And we're like, your first-year head coach, this is a second-year quarterback, a guy that struggled last year. He needs more live reps.
Mm-hmm.
And we were critical of it.
Yeah, this is not 2020 hindsight. This is, we were there, and I hate that we were right, but I think we were. And even like what he said there about, like, I want to go in with the first 15 attitude or whatever he called it. What that means is, for those of you that are not up to date on play calling in the NFL, why not? Most teams script the first 15 plays that they run on offense. And they'll run them during the walkthrough, the Friday or Saturday walkthrough prior to the game. They'll make sure their quarterback loves every play. Those first 15 plays are darn near scripted, unless you catch like a 3.5 yard or something, or way backed up on your own goal line, something unusual to change the play. You're going to run those 15 scripted plays. I want them to get through that. I don't want them just to do the 15 in the preseason. And I think that's as much for Dave Canales as it is for the players. I want Dave Canales to get into the repetition, to get into the rhythm of looking at what happened on the previous play, looking at down and distance, calling a play, and getting it in time for them to execute all the pre-snap drama, the motions, the checks, and everything else. There's more to it than just you got to get hit the first time. Although I do think you have to get hit the first time. Joe Burrow had a great quote on that. Joe Burrow talking to the media just like a day ago. One of the media members said, "Are you one of those guys that looks forward to the first time you get hit in a season?" And he kind of thought about it and then did the odd tempo of a Joe Burrow response, and he went, "Used to." And I'm like, that's the veteran. He doesn't have to play in the preseason. That's when when you're like, no, I used to look forward to the first time I got hit, and now not as much. Don't need that. Like, Bryce, to me, is somebody that still needs to get in, and this is, I think, a lot of young players. I'm not just putting on Bryce. Need to get popped once or twice just to feel like you're playing football again. More audio from Dave Canales after today's practice on why he changed his preseason approach from last year, which is kind of what we've just been talking about.
Experimenting with an approach. I'd been a part of in Seattle where we played our starters all but the last preseason game. They always got some good work in a couple series, and I just think about Pete, what he was looking for at the time was the same thing we talked about, was that mental preparation and readiness to go out there and play football, full speed football. So you think about the hours, there's a lot that goes into getting your mind right to go out there and play this game, so that, as much as anything, is valuable.
I've said this a few times, but I want to emphasize it. Dave Canales, I give him a lot of credit for being willing to take in new information and change his mind. I give him credit for that. A lot of coaches, it takes a lot to change their minds. They know more than everybody. They know more than you. They know more than anyone you've met. They're the all-ending, all-being, all-knowing football voice. Canales very much feels like he looked at his first year as a head coach in the NFL with a critical eye and has come back with, here's what I liked, here's what we're going to continue, here's what we're going to do more of, but also here's what didn't work. Here's what I thought was going to work, and it kind of blew up in my face, and we're going to change that. So I do expect to see a different strategy and deployment of his players and his starters during this preseason, and I think that is notable. Another thing that the Panthers need to make sure they do is start faster. Now, we'll hear from Dave Canales on a couple of players, Bryce Young and Chuba Hubbard, that have challenged the team to do that. But I have so many thoughts on just that idea of starting faster. Here's Dave Canales.
It hasn't been necessary, really up until today. And I think as we accumulated 3 great days of practice, had a player day off, and you kind of come out and the guys are kind of oozing their way into practice. And so the challenge, and from Chuba at the end of practice was, guys, we can't afford to come out and feel our way through this thing. We have to be ready to go when that first horn blows for 2 hours. We're working, and to kind of have those habits. And Bryce, I think, just sensed it. You know, he hadn't had to up until this point, but I think he could sense just not enough urgency. And so he just kind of, you know, we went through that first rack, came back out and took, 10 or 15 seconds to kind of tell the guys, let's go. You know, it's time to go. So I love that.
Starting faster is one of the things that I look at in sports, and it's talked about so much, and I never, ever know anything tangible about it. And I've been an athlete on teams that start fast, teams that start slow. I've been on teams that start fast one week and start slow the next, and coaches talk about it. There's the color commentators talk about it all. Keys to today's game: whoever wins the turnover battle and home team needs to start fast. And I'm like, that's, of course. You mean you want to play well from the beginning? I've asked coaches this where I'm like, how do you work on that? Is there a drill to hey, play better now? It's something that gets talked about a lot, but there's very little tangibly you can do to be better at it, right? If you're a team that we keep getting beat in the first quarter, I think that's tangibly, well, you probably need to script your first 15 offensive plays better. You probably need to go in with a better plan. You probably need better players. And if you're a team that starts fast and finishes slow, okay, we could talk conditioning or something like that, but that I never know. Everybody talks about it, and I'm always like, all right, let's take it to the next step. Starting fast. I guess in a practice, you could just make it like a false enthusiasm thing. I want everybody hooting and hollering from the opening whistle, and I want you running from drill to drill. But as far as a game, playing well on your first drive, I think that's a symptom, not the disease, right? If you're not starting fast, that means you didn't play well early. Go find out the player that was getting beat, or the play that didn't work, or the decision that was bad, and fix that. That's the root of the cause.
Well, I think that you got to understand the context of the quote there, Tim. Is he was talking about how at practice, Bryce Young felt that the guys didn't have the energy and pop at the start of practice, and as Dave said, oozing into practice. Again, just being kind of all right, we're here today, as opposed to, hey, we got to maximize our time. That's what the context of it was. That's Bryce saying, hey, guys, this isn't the way we're supposed to be practicing right now. Let's step up our game and let's get things going. And Chuba Hubbard saying the same thing at the end. So that's what I mean, starting practice with that energy right from the get-go.
So your quarterback told the professionals to jog faster from route to route?
It's just hey, guys, let's concentration, focus, all those kinds of things. It's what it is.
That's exactly what I'm saying. If it's concentration and focus, how does concentration and focus not being good enough show itself? Are you dropping passes? Are you not running good routes? Are you making bad decisions?
Are you going full speed in your drills? Those kinds of things. That's probably what he's talking about. I mean, again, Dave said this is the first time all camp that Bryce or anybody has had to say any of those kinds of things.
Not going full speed in a drill, to me, is outlandish if it's a full speed drill.
People are people.
If that's happening, that's way more than just the quarterback needs to get everybody together and give them a pep talk.
But again, it's the first time it's happened all camp.
It's
so it's what a quarterback's supposed to do. That's right. It's what a leader. It's however long it's been. But people are human. This stuff does sometimes happen, and sometimes, hey, you know what, guys? Let's get back to where we need to be. Again, it's a practice thing.
Yes, and my point is, I would hope it's not lollygagging. If that's the case, then it's something bigger. If somebody is running a route or somebody is in a blocking drill hitting a sled and they're not hitting it as hard as they can, and it's supposed to be an all-out drill, that's outlandish to me. If it is you're not focusing in and you're missing an assignment, if it's you're not focusing in and you're dropping a pass, if you're not focusing in and you're doing something incorrectly, I think focusing on we need to start faster it's such a frustrating thing to me, because I'm going no, fix the mistake. Don't just get everybody together and say, go harder. But
that is the mistake.
Tangible.
That is the mistake.
If you're lollygagging,
that's the mistake.
Then that's kick guys off practice. Then it's not get everybody together.
Extreme here.
Extreme. I'm not the one extreme if they're not doing drills 100% and they're professional athletes on the 5th day of practice. That's the extreme. And by the way, it's not outlandish that would happen. Ben Johnson of the Bears, he's kicked a whole bunch of guys out of drills. He sent Luther Burden to the side because he wasn't paying attention during a motion call. Like there are things you can do that match the transgression. If the transgression is we're not hustling, I mean, we got to take it back to Little League, right? If your mouthpiece isn't in your mouth at all points in time, you're running a lap. Like, we got to take it back to Pop Warner out here. And if it's manifesting itself in other ways, fix the problem rather than talking about these big non-tangible, wishy-washy ideas. Start fast it's always like, it's so frustrating.
Dave was asked about Bryce bringing the guys together early on in practice.
Bryce and Chuba.
That's what he was asked about. And then Chuba talking about post-practice. That's what Dave was asked about. He was answering the question.
Well,
So that's it. I mean, that's all it is.
Okay, then the frustration isn't with Dave answering the question. The frustration is with the fact that Bryce Young and Chuba Hubbard had to tell everybody to start fast. It's fix the problem is basically what I'm getting at. And if starting slow is, as you're saying, potentially showing itself by not running drills hard, I think that's a much bigger problem than, really anything else could be. Like, effort has to be the only thing that's guaranteed for a professional athlete. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. What do we have next? We have Real Bold Predictions, one of my favorite segments of the week. Real Bold Predictions coming up next right here on The Drive.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
My favorite player in the NFL ever is Dan Marino, and I do not want Lamar Jackson to be the modern Dan Marino. I don't want his career and his accomplishments to feel incomplete because he doesn't have a ring. And I think that's why we put so much pressure on him, because we all acknowledge the greatness, and we don't want to see him fall short of completing the resume.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in the Triangle. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or 2 bird dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. On a Friday, it's a good time to make a little request for a personal favor. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. You'll find clips from this show, live streams for things you missed. Just today, I sent somebody a link to one of our live streams because they had heard something from a friend of a friend, right? I heard this was on, and I'd like to hear it. Where can I find it? Send them one of our live streams with a timestamp. You can go back and find pretty much everything we talk about here on this show. The Adam Gold Show, which airs right prior to our show on 99.9 The Fan every weekday. And then there's the podcasts and everything else going on there. Kane's Corner, Panthers Playbook, and many others. So you want to check them all out. We'll have Pack Therapy coming up here in the not-too-distant future, getting ready for a little college football season with Mike Lennon, former NC State quarterback, and myself on that one. So check it all out on our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Right now, in addition to some of those podcasts being some of the favorite things I do all week, I love me some real bold predictions. Not real like really bold, real like certified, authentic, actual bold predictions. The only space in sports media that guarantees our bold predictions are bold. Most places it's like, I've got a bold prediction. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to throw for double-digit touchdowns this year. And then they have some sounder, some special effect that's like, wah, 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 wah. It's like, no. Yeah, there it is. It's like, that's not actually bold. But they have nobody there no checks and balances to judge and make sure. So we've installed the bold enough bell. Or I never know what to call that. The bold enough like Mario sound?
Yeah.
Bold enough Mario sound. Or the not bold enough buzzer. And if we hear the buzzer, that means I have to make the prediction bolder on the spot until we get to a place of actual boldness. If you're new here, you will catch on. It is not difficult. First, based on the 3 times touching the football in the Hall of Fame game, 2 that actually mattered because they weren't changed by penalty, Omarion Hampton scores 10 or more touchdowns this season. Former UNC running back, now with the Los Angeles Chargers.
We talking total, receiving, passing,
we'll
rushing?
Start total. I have a feeling. We'll go 12 or more total. He's a rookie. Thank you. Did the it's a rookie? Did that change? Was that
no? I
okay.
think 10 makes sense.
Okay. He's one that like I saw his over under set at like 875 rushing yards. I think he's either going to smoke that or finish below it. Like I don't think he's going to finish with 900 rushing yards. I think it's either like 1,200 or 600. Like I
easily see 1,000 plus for him this season.
I mean, unless Najee Harris comes back and looks great, he's dealing with an eye injury from a fireworks incident. I don't know. And I also, by the way, it's not news yet, but it's potential news. Tom Pelissero, NFL Network, said Keenan Allen is visiting the Chargers, free agent, veteran wide receiver.
I'll go back to his old stomping grounds.
And there's mutual interest in a reunion is the words Tom Pelissero used, which I just think they have Ladd McConkey there. Drafted Trey Harris in the 2nd round. Keandre Lambert-Smith, who's a guy that bounced around college a little bit but always had the ability, looked good last night. If you add Keenan Allen to those wide receivers, that offense could be pretty good with Justin Herbert calling the shots.
Greensboro, North Carolina native, Keenan Allen.
Oh, I thought you were saying Keandre Lambert-Smith. I'm like, I don't think so. No, Keenan Allen, I think he was one of the top recruits at safety coming out of high school.
Maybe.
And then he went to Cal, and became a stud receiver and caught 1 billion balls over the last 10-plus years. Well, how about this? Keenan Allen goes to the Chargers and catches 5 or more touchdowns. I'm picking the place he's going to sign. I shouldn't have said any of that stuff about the report. I would have 7 touchdowns or more. I don't think they'll get up and down a ton. I think they'll still be a ball control offense.
Because he'll get hurt at some point. It's just unfortunately his history.
And it's an age thing. When you're playing a physical sport and you're up mid-30s, it happens more often than you think.
Yeah, he's only played full seasons in the NFL 4 times out of what?
Are you looking up
10-year
stats?
Career, 11-year
Are you on
career?
the stats page? In those 4 full seasons, how many catches did he have?
102, 97, 104, 106.
Yeah, guy gets a lot of catches.
Oh yeah.
Okay, speaking of, what did we say? Omarion Hampton, 12 or more was the bold prediction. Teteroa McMillan scores more touchdowns than Omarion Hampton this season. I think T-Mac, as they call him, is going to be peppered with targets, particularly down in the red zone. I'm seeing a lot of play action, him working along the backside of the end line where you can put it up real high where he's going to get it or no one's going to get it. I'm seeing fades. I'm seeing back shoulders. The beauty of all the highlights he's put up that I said, like, it doesn't look like he's separating a ton, but he's making the catch anyway, is that just sets him up perfectly for the red zone where the windows are tighter, where there's more bodies condensed into a smaller part of the field. If he doesn't need space to make catches, that just makes him a red zone darling. So I think there's a lot of touchdowns there. And that way, if Hampton has a rough year, it's an easy win, right? Next up. Oh, how about this? Shall we go to the Carolina Hurricanes for a second? Jackson Blake, on the last year of his entry-level contract, by the way, before the 8-year extension for $5.6 million per year goes into effect, 50 points or more this season. 50 is not bold?
No, I don't think so.
What do you have, like 34 this year?
Yeah.
Seems like a big jump. With Ehlers being added,
that's fine.
53 or more. 54 or more? I'm going to make you tell me when's bold. Now it is an exercise in what Dennis thinks is bold for Jackson Blake. 55 or more. 56 or more. 57 or more. 58, goodness. 59 or more. 60? Wow. So he scores 28 goals and has 28 assists. You're sitting around going like, that's within the range of what I predicted.
I can, looking at his advanced numbers, and I'm guessing he's going to get more ice time this season because he got stashed on the fourth line for stretches last year.
Which he might again
especially
this
early
year.
on. I think, again, looking at his advanced numbers, his goals expected per 60 minutes was 1.25. Seth Jarvis was 1.26. Seth Jarvis led the team in expected goals. So with more ice time and just improved play as you get older, it's not out of the realm of possibility to forecast his point total this upcoming year to be 25 and 30, which is 55 points. I also say bold is 60.
Wow.
That's why 50 to 55 range is well within possibility. 60, that's bold.
All right. I mean, that's you got the stats to back it up, but I just think going from 34 to 60.
We saw Seth Jarvis take a leap. We see plenty of guys take a leap.
I see all of the comparisons. I was actually talking with Pat Welter at WRAL earlier today. He made kind of the comparison 17 goals in Seth Jarvis's first game and first season and 17 in Jackson Blake's. Like, I see the comparisons, undersized guys, wingers for the most part. But also it's dangerous to just expect somebody to be on the Seth Jarvis kind of development track because Seth Jarvis developed ridiculously quick.
And Jarvis in his second year was 14 goals, 25 assists, 39 points in his second season. Now he was age 20, which Jackson Blake was age 21 last year.
And then what did he do the following year?
33 and 34.
So you're that's what I'm saying. That would be awesome. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's dangerous to just go, he'll develop like Seth Jarvis because Seth Jarvis was like top of the line development curve.
That's why I said he wasn't going to be like Seth. That's why I said 60's bold.
Yeah.
50-55 is, to my mind, is expected.
I hope you're right. That's awesome. How about this? I bet you Mark Jankowski gets married within the last week.
Wait, you're saying, is that the bold prediction that he got married within the last week? I mean, I don't think that's bold because I think he did.
Yeah, Paul Ihender just texted us both that Jankowski got married. Canes just posted a text. So I was kind of trying to be watching the game on replay and have you walk by and go, I bet he scores a touchdown here. Didn't execute it very well.
I know Jalen Chatfield's set to get married this summer.
He got married. You know who his best man was?
Got serious. Who?
Jacob Slavin.
Nice.
Or I don't know if he was best man. In the pictures, he is the groomsman standing closest to. So I would assume he was in the best man position. Maybe he just wanted him, covering his his blind side because he knows Slavin does that well. But yeah, I mean, culture guys, right? There you go. Well, I'll give you one more Canes one here. And this is inspired by an Athletic article. Sebastian Aho ends up in the Hall of Fame.
Which Hall of Fame?
pro hockey.
The Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There's the Canes Hall of Fame.
No, the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Okay, the Hockey Hall of Fame.
I was like, thought there was like 2 Hockey Hall of Fames. I was like, are there 2? I don't know. Yeah, Canes for sure. I don't think that's bold at all. The Athletic tiered active players in terms of their Hall of Fame likelihood from the guys that Tier 1 was like, you retire tomorrow, you're in the Hall, easy. Tier 2 was like, probably if you retire tomorrow. Tier 5, they titled Check Back in a Few Years. And that's where they had Aho, the only member of the current Carolina Hurricanes. Burns was in Tier 2 as a recent Carolina Hurricane. I was like, nah, he's going to get there. He's going to get there. A couple of cups in the next few years. That'll help.
Those Tier 1 guys are obviously like Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing he should be in Tier 1.
Oh, yeah, I'm just like giving context to some people out there.
And then the next tier I think is like Burns, Tavares maybe. There's a few guys like that.
Yeah, Burns will be in. Tavares will be in.
Those are like most likely in, but not Sidney Crosby level guys. Like
Sidney Crosby's
like
first
Ovechkin,
ballot.
like that kind of stuff. All right, do you want a ridiculous one or kind of a serious one?
Yes.
All right, we'll start with the serious, then we'll finish with the ridiculous. Adam Thielen does not finish the season on the Carolina Panthers. I don't know how to make this more bold. Adam Thielen doesn't play 4 games with the Carolina Panthers. I've talked myself into this fully. I wasn't there, but then Mike Kay of the Charlotte Observer brought it up. I've had a conversation with a few other people. We discussed it on the Adam Gold Show as part of the roundtable earlier today. I think I want Teteroa McMillan to be for Bryce Young everything Adam Thielen has been to Bryce Young, and I'm not sure that happens with Adam Thielen still around. Like on third down, when all's breaking down around him, I want Bryce looking for T-Mac. And I think right now, in a panic situation, his instincts are going to go, where's Adam? So I almost want to remove Adam from the equation, so that's not possible. Last one here. Brad Johnson, former Super Bowl winning quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, wins the 2025 Papa Shot National Championships tonight at 9 p.m. on ESPN2, a.k.a. the Ocho. The Ocho is going on right now.
Yeah, it's weird that they're doing the Ocho today. I figured they would actually do it on Friday next week when it's 08:08.
I think
August 8th.
By then, it's all NFL all the time on ESPN2. There'll be preseason games going on.
I guess.
I think this is the signifier of like the wacky season of sports where it's just baseball and whatever else you can find going on. It's the end of it. So they've been doing it for like 48 hours or something like that. If you go look at the rundown, if you look at the rundown is the wrong word. The schedule, I guess. It's pretty ridiculous. But there is a Papa Shot National Championship. Supposedly the 8 best Papa Shotters in the world will compete at 9 o'clock tonight for the Papa Shot World Championships. And Brad Johnson is that good. Brad Johnson, the old Super Bowl winning quarterback, is like an unbelievable Papa Shotter.
I mean, I guess retirement will allow you to do that.
At 10 p.m., there's the Pillow Fight Championships.
Yeah, there's a Pillow Fight Championship.
What is Car-Jitsu?
Car-Jitsu?
I think it's like a motorized version of Jiu-Jitsu. Car-Jitsu Championships are at 11:30 tonight. Diving Chess Duel in the Depths. You know what's happening at 3 a.m.? I could read these all day and not get bored. Do you know what's happening at 3 a.m.? Microsoft Excel World Championship Finals. I don't even know. How do you compete in Microsoft Excel? I need you to organize this statistical matrixy.
I'm still trying to figure out what Car-Jitsu is.
Car-Jitsu.
Let's see, I'm really right now. Car-Jitsu is a grappling sport fought inside a vehicle combining Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques with the confines of a car. Competitors start buckled in, and once the match begins, they unbuckle and engage using any part of the car to their advantage. Submissions are the primary way to win, but if neither competitor secures a submission, the match may proceed to a third round or sudden death. So basically, the fight between, for all my Marvel nerd fans out there, between Deadpool and Wolverine. That's it.
I mean, it looks like they just start in the driver's seat and the passenger seat, and then they do jiu-jitsu in the car.
So, like a Jason Bourne action scene. Okay.
Tonight at 11:30. The Ocho.
I won't be watching, but
I mean, it's genius. What else are you going to be watching at 11:30 at night on a Friday when there's no real sports going on?
Back of my eyelids asleep.
What about 2024 Silverback Breaking Invitational? No clue what that means. Corgi races at 12:30 a.m.
There we
Sunday.
go.
Tractor pulling at midnight on Saturday night. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Shout out to Brad Johnson. I hope you win the Papa Shot Dreams. Put that trophy right there next to your Super Bowl. I don't know. Right now on the Ocho, they're playing some weird, sticky silicone thrower game. I don't know. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The starting five coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
The Adam Gold Show.
I keep getting the same question about, is Carolina done? I think Carolina is done for now. Too many teams in the NHL, 31 out of 32, actually think they're going to make the playoffs. So those teams are not giving away or selling off their best players. So Carolina will play the waiting game, and 2 months into the season, 3 months into the season, a lot of those teams aren't going to be in the playoff hunt. That's when Carolina strikes.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
At Wells Fargo, we know what got you into your business. Whether it's manufacturing, running a restaurant, or your business from home. What you didn't get into your business for was banking. But luckily, Wells Fargo offers business checking, payments, and lending all in one place, in your neighborhood and on our app, so you can focus on doing what you love. Wells Fargo, you're good at business, we're good at business banking. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/business. Terms apply. Wells Fargo Bank and a member FDIC.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. Yes, give me my good friends. Give me that dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Hurry into Family Fare to get 2 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew for just $4. Family Fare, first in thirst. When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I guess I get to do the weather today because it wasn't uploaded. 5 o'clock check of your weather here on 99.9 The Fan. Dennis Cox here with you. Temperatures over the weekend, it's not going to feel miserable, folks. Sit back, enjoy the weather, get outside. Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 542 points today. Down to 43,588.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
5 o'clock on a Friday, everybody. Congratulations. Thank you for hanging out with us to start your weekend. In about a half hour, we have a pretty cool announcement I'm looking forward to making. But you're going to have to wait a half hour. That's directions from people that I can't argue with. So in a half hour, we'll make a pretty cool announcement. Right now, we're going to make the starting 5 of things, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So this is breaking-ish Canes news. As breaking, actually, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say as breaking of Canes news as you could have this time of year, but we just had a massive contract in the middle of late July. So could be more substantial than this. But Dennis, correct me on the details here. Seth Jarvis on the initial 42-man Canadian Olympic broad roster.
So yes, the Hockey Canada announced their 2025 National Teams Orientation Camp, which is going to be later on this month. Basically, the potential pool of players that Canada will use to select their Olympic roster for the 2026 Olympic Games out in Italy. On that initial 42-man group of players is Seth Jarvis, Carolina Hurricanes forward, who was part of the Four Nations back in February as well for Team Canada.
So a bunch of different ways to think about this one. First, that's awesome. Congratulations, Seth Jarvis, right? Like, he is a player that I believe considers it an honor to represent his country and wear his country's name on his jersey and everything else. I think you saw that in the Four Nations Cup. So congratulations. As I said, it appears to be an honor that he takes seriously.
By the way, in the Olympics for the rosters, they're slightly bigger than what you had in the Four Nations. You actually have a 25-player roster, so 22 skaters, 3 goaltenders, and you actually dress 20 skaters in a game as opposed to just 18. So an extra forward, extra defenseman.
Secondly, I think Seth Jarvis is the kind of guy that you leave tryouts impressed with.
For sure.
Like, whatever you thought about him, you think higher of him when you're watching him in real time. So if it's truly like you bring in 42 and they're trying to find the best 20 or the best 22 or whatever it is, there are just certain players that, when you start evaluating them and seeing them on the ice next to each other, you're like, wow, that guy keeps coming away with the puck. Wow, that guy keeps making good plays. I think Seth's one of them, right? I think his impact is obvious, if that makes any sense. Certain guys, it's like, the advanced analytics, you don't notice it, but he's a plus 18. Seth is like, no, he made a bunch of really good plays, and I noticed them happening. And then lastly, these type of events are kind of why I believe, this is me inferring, and kind of others have made the same guesses, why maybe the shoulder isn't getting like the surgeries in the offseason is because there's so many of these opportunities for him to do. So you want to rest him and try to play through him and everything. And it doesn't appear to be holding his play back, right? He's, 30-goal guy a couple times already. So, if this means that much to him, he's at the age where you can play kind of year-round and not burn yourself out. Like, keep rolling. You know what I mean? Be careful of it. Be mindful of it. Because sometimes there is a point where, like, an off-season needs to be an off-season. But for right now, like, I think Seth's the kind of guy that if he weren't doing this, he'd be on a rink somewhere probably playing pickup. So might as well do it with Team Canada trainers around it. I think it helps.
I think with Jarvis as well is that, to me, he should make –
I
mean, I'm not going to root for Canada in the Olympics, but to me, I'm rooting for him in the sense of he should be on the roster because you can play him up and down the lineup anywhere. You can put him on a power play. He can kill penalties. He's responsible defensively. That's the kind of player that you need to have as opposed to just stacking your team with a bunch of, with this guy scores a lot of goals, this guy scores a lot of goals. We'll actually need guys that are willing to block shots and kill penalties as well.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Team USA learned this in basketball years ago, where it's like, you know what? We need Andre Iguodala on the team. Where's Tayshaun Prince? Right? Somebody's got to defend too.
Yeah.
And for a while there, they didn't need that, but they definitely do now. That was number 5. Let's jump to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
What?
UNC basketball. Talk about a weird time on the calendar to be making a little bit of a headline. UNC basketball received a transfer commitment from, and I apologize if I mispronounced this, Ivan Matlakovic, 7-foot tall rising sophomore transfer from High Point. In his freshman year at High Point, he played a total of 31 minutes over 5 games, scored 13 total points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, and had 4 blocks in the total 31 minutes that he played. Now, this is, if this were a player that I think would have, been playing big minutes, impacting UNC, potentially, top 6, top 7 guy, we would have talked about this 5, 6, 7 times already in the show. I think this is simply one of those deals that we don't fully grasp from the outside about modern college basketball, and that is he's the 10th new player incoming for UNC this year. And if you're bringing in 10 new players, some of them, or a couple of them at least, are going to have to be mostly practice players. Like you don't play a 10-man rotation in college basketball, but you need 10, you need 12, you need 14 or whatever it is in practice. So it's kind of strange to see UNC getting a transfer commitment from a guy that rode the bench for a year at High Point, but then you think he's 7 feet tall. So there are certain practice capabilities that he has that he can give someone like Henry Vassar, their big name transfer 7-footer coming in that will play a heavy role. And also, I was thinking about this earlier today, kind of walking around thinking about, like, what are we going to say about this 7-foot transfer from High Point? When I fell in love with college basketball, when many of you fell in love with college basketball, the missed recruits, the guys that you thought were going to be impact players and weren't, turned into kind of your bench guys, your scout teamers, right? You bring in a 4-star, freshman year, you try to make it work. By sophomore year, you're like, turns out, doesn't translate. Or maybe they deal with an injury and they don't get back to being the same. It used to be they were still on campus for 4 years. So their junior and senior year, they might just be the vets practicing hard, hoping to get in games, if there's an injury or a blowout situation. But nowadays, if you bring in a recruit, so like UNC is not bringing in a lot of like 2-stars, right? You're bringing in 4s and 5-stars. And if it doesn't work out at UNC, guess what? There's a host of mid-majors out there going, we'll give you every bit of NIL we have to come play with us and see if you can't recapture the talent you showed as a prospect. So you don't really have like the 9th guy on the bench that you used to. And it's kind of weird to think that you have to recruit or get a commitment from that guy, right? Because you still need somebody that is good enough to give your starting center a look in practice, but won't play much in a game. And I'm sure that's not how they sold it, right? He still has a bunch of years of eligibility left, so it probably is we'll bring you in, right? We're going to develop you, and hopefully in the future you can be a contributor. And in the meantime, you get some cool shoes. Right? Deal.
Could be worse.
Deal, right?
Could be worse.
It's just it's a really interesting kind of roster move there by UNC, because we know they have a huge commitment in NIL, right? It's like $14 million is the number that's thrown around a lot on kind of how much they were able to spend, and they brought in a bunch of new guys. This Matt Lakovich being the 10th. Now it becomes, UNC basketball and UNC football are in such different places to end up kind of in the same place, right? One as a coach, been in the college world for a long time, college assistant, knows college. I'm talking about Hubert Davis. Football, well, it's Bill Belichick. He's an NFL legend, but, he's kind of starting over doing the college thing. And yet both of them, what is the story as we head towards the next school year? A ton of transfers and a ton of freshmen, and they have to figure out a way to make it all gel in rapid time. Both football and basketball, some big-name transfers, some small-name transfers, some big-name freshman recruits, some lesser-known freshman recruits, and you got to make it all work with a couple of returnees and call it a team. They're all in the same place. What number was that? That number was number 4. Let's hit number 3. All right, let's run through a whole bunch of Panther/NFL news. Micah Parsons requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys today. Terry McLaurin still requesting / not settled his contract situation with the Washington Commanders. The Hall of Fame game was last night. Trey Lance looked good. Omarion Hampton looked solid on little work. Naheem Hines, who now goes by Naheem Miller Hines, who's been not on NFL game fields the last 2 years, due to injury, off the field injury, jet ski injury. Former NC State running back looked healthy, which is good to see, playing for the Los Angeles Chargers. Kyle Allen, former Panther quarterback, did not look as good playing quarterback for the Lions. Threw a couple of picks, one of them pretty darn bad. It was a Hall of Fame game, though. His first preseason game. Starting with last night, we have football every single weekend until mid-February. How about it? And also, little Panthers note here. For whatever reason, unless it is like Tier A, awesome uniform, unless it's in the NFL, like the Ravens All Blacks, the Chargers Powder Blues, the Bucks Creamsicles. I really don't care what uniforms. I don't notice. Like, as long as I can tell the teams apart, I don't notice. But there was some Panthers jersey notes, and Dennis, I know you have some thoughts on it, so here you go. The floor is yours. What's going on with the Panthers jerseys?
So this season, the Panthers will be wearing their white jerseys much less frequently than they did last year. They wore their white jerseys actually quite a bunch, including a lot of games at home, which obviously ticked off a lot of Panther fans, which is understandable. White jerseys are usually reserved for when you're on the road, unless you're the Dallas Cowboys and you want to be special in that regard.
LSU does it. For night games at home, they rock the all-whites, which are kind of cool.
But yeah, if that's like your brand, I get that. But Panther fans, if you're going to a game at Bank of America Stadium this season, you will only have to see the white jerseys one time.
People really don't like the white jerseys?
No. Well, a lot of people want to see the black or the blue jerseys at home, not the white ones. The white ones are a little bland.
That's just a fashion decision?
Yeah, it's just a thing. But they actually will wear the blue jerseys 3 times this year at home, and 4 times they'll wear the black jerseys. 1 time they'll wear the white jerseys at home. But last season, they only wore they wore blue jerseys when they were in Germany. They had 1 home game with the blue jerseys against the Falcons earlier in the year, and then they played in the black jerseys at home 4 times. So really only 5 games at home did they actually wear a black or a blue jersey, and it really did upset a lot of Panther fans. Because a lot of Panthers fans will say, well, if other teams are coming into our building and the Panthers are wearing white, then they might as well just go ahead and be the road team with so many other teams' fans coming in. You got to make sure, hey, if you are establishing this as your place to play, wear a home jersey.
I'll give you that. The fans thing is messed up. What's your Tier A? Like, number 1, if you're going to a game and you're watching the Panthers, what combo do you want to see?
Oh, that's a tough one. I like the black jersey, blue pants.
Gray helmet?
Yeah, the gray helmet. I like the black jersey. Or
I know a lot of people like the color rush, black on black on black, but
that is pretty cool. I will say black helmet, blue jersey, black pants, also fire.
See, I'm think I'm weird. I don't. As long as I can tell the teams apart, I'm good. And they're not like. Do you remember during the old color rush when we used to get like the Rams would be wearing like mustard yellow, and the Chiefs would be wearing like ketchup red, and it would just look like those would be strange. But as long as I can tell you apart, I'm all right with it. But people are very, very passionate about it. So that's, you do you. Whatever gets you going. That's number 3. Let's hit number 2.
Just the 2 of us.
Yeah, goodness gracious. I don't even. It's weird to even say the numbers I'm about to say. First of all, we'll credit Brian Murphy, WRAL, for doing the digging on this. But due to some regulations and checks and balances in the high school NIL world, we have some numbers here. There's some reporting that has to be made to the state board on which deals are being signed by which players. And again, Brian Murphy did the digging. According to a summary given to the state board, 12 athletes at 11 North Carolina High School Athletic Association schools signed a total of 17 NIL deals, now that NIL is legal for high schoolers in the state. The arrangements range from nutritional and sports drinks to apparel and equipment. One deal was a 2-year endorsement deal worth $1.2 million. Now, in case you didn't catch what I just said, a high schooler, like a going into their senior year high schooler, signed a 2-year, $1.2 million endorsement deal.
What?
And if we not even loosely, there are some indicators, some dots being connected from a previous lawsuit and this summary that would indicate the likelihood that player with the $1.2 million 2-year deal is Faison Brandon, a Grimsley High School quarterback who is one of the top recruits in the country who is committed to Tennessee. The lawsuit, which opened up NIL as a legal avenue for high schoolers in the state, was by Brandon and his family. And in the lawsuit, the Brandon family said, quote, a prominent national trading card company had agreed to pay the quarterback, quote, a substantial amount of money in exchange for signing memorabilia. The complaint said the cumulative financial impact of not allowing NIL to Brandon was more than $1 million. So we can loosely connect some dots, and we then learned on his social media that he signed an endorsement with Leaf Trading Cards. So again, without 100% certainty, but the Hansel and Gretel crumbs led us here, we could make the assumption that Faison Brandon signed a 2-year, $1.2 million endorsement with Leaf Trading Cards to sign memorabilia. A high school quarterback signed a contract for $1.2 million to sign memorabilia. Now, there's a billion different ways to talk about this. My first thing to say is good for you. Get your money, right? If it's within the realms of rules and laws and regulations, Faison Brandon, good for you. Good for your family. The other thing is, I don't. What can of worms does it open? I don't even know. I remember when it became legal to have NIL in North Carolina, and I thought, as every former athlete does, right? You think back to how much money would have I made? I genuinely thought the coolest thing would be if on Thursdays as a high school player, for whatever tiny amount of celebrity I had, if I could get a local restaurant to let me and the offensive line come through and grab some pizzas. And I'll tweet about you, or I'll sign memorabilia. I'll do whatever I got to do. I'll be in a commercial with them. The craziest place my brain went for high school athletes was an endorsement deal that could get you 4 large pepperonis and a couple of orders of wings on a Thursday for me and my offensive line.
Where do I sign up?
And then it ended up being a $600,000 a year trading card deal. But I also want to reel it in a little bit because, as soon as Brian Murphy wrote this article, and you can grab it at WRL.com, read it for yourself with all the details. I encourage you to do so. I grabbed the link and I fired it off into a couple group chats. High school kids are getting $600,000 a year. Whoa. And I got the response I was looking for. A lot of what? How? Whoa. Goodness. Right? That's what you want when you send something into a group chat. But another number that was in this little report I just gave you that I want to focus in on, state of North Carolina is pretty big, right? There's a lot of people in the state of North Carolina. I think it's 11 million, something like that. Am I making that up? I don't know why that's the number that popped into my head.
11.05.
All right, there you go. It's close. That's a lot of people. There's a lot of high schools. There's a lot of good athletics high schools. There's a lot of star basketball players. According to the summary, 12 athletes have NIL endorsements. 12. For the most part, your high school, your local high school, is not going to be changed at all by NIL. There are a very, very, very small amount of supremely talented and recognized as supremely talented players that are getting a lot of cash.
I mean, we're talking the exception. The exceptions are getting the money.
The ones whose life already wasn't normal.
Yeah.
Right? Because I do think the NIL threat to many people is it's going to take away what is all good and pure about high school sports. Faison Brandon was already not living a normal high school experience, right? He's arguably the number one recruit in the country for the most popular sport in the country. Like, he's already not, getting the same Friday Night Lights experience that you and your buddies had.
And let's put this a little in context. Again, you said 12 high school players, high school athletes got an NIL deal. There are about, 30 high schools, 31 high schools just in Wake County alone?
Yeah. And each football team with 50, 80, somewhere in there, 50 to 80 players.
There are plenty of guys that are going to be going Division I that are coming just strictly out of Wake County.
And I do think there will be more in the long run of the type I described. More like, hey, you can get free haircuts if you talk about my barbershop on social media, and more of those kind of NIL deals, take it in store credit, to help out and make the kids feel good, right? I don't think you're going to see a lot of $600,000 a year deals. I think that'll stay in the 1 or 2 a year at most. Especially because, and this is simplifying it, every good basketball player transfers to a prep school in Florida anyway. They become like the number 4 recruit in the class playing in North Carolina, and then they go to IMG or Montverde or whatever. But that's a story for another day. That's number 2. Let's hit number 1. Panthers training camp latest. We've been talking a lot about the audio and the conversations from Dave Canales, but I also want to acknowledge some injury updates. Mike Jackson back at practice. He is the starting corner opposite of J.C. Horn on the depth chart. After missing a couple of days with a sprained toe, I could say this about so many of the starters on defense. It's important that he stays healthy. It's important that he stays healthy. Even if you really think like a Shaw Smith-Wade is ready to take on a huge role as a corner, he's already going to be playing a huge role if he's that good as the nickel corner coming in and facing off against some of these pass offenses in the league. If you move him out, which I don't think suits him as well being on the outside, but if you do move him out, then I guess you're going Shamar Bartholomew as the next guy up, and you start to get on real thin ice. So the fact that he was only out for a couple of practices and he's back and it was a sprained toe and not an injury that tends to linger more, good news there. I have this as a note that literally says find out before the show, and I did not read that note before the show. Do we know why Nick Scorton wasn't practicing today?
So I guess during a special teams drill, just felt a little something in his hamstring. Dave Canales said it was minor.
If one thing we're learning about this preseason, and that's my first time hearing that update on Nick Scorton, teams across the NFL, very cautious with hamstrings this time of year. I think if somebody just walked up and tapped you on the hamstring and you didn't know about it and you were just like, what was that? They'd be like, sit down, 2 weeks. No more running. They're very worried about hamstrings. There's so many players. We saw Sam Martin, the punter, at the beginning of camp. We saw who's the big guy? Oh my goodness, Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown,
the big guy.
He is the big guy.
We saw Bobby Brown miss the first couple of days of camp just on a minor hamstring. I believe that's what Hunter Renfrow is missing some practices with. It's just like if there's any discomfort in a hamstring, they are shut it down and get it fixed. So that's good to see.
Panthers have been very cautious when it comes to injuries. Like, we'd much rather you sit a day or two than you try and push it.
Again, for fantasy football purposes, as nerdy as that sounds, I've been paying attention across the league. It seems to be becoming a league-wide thing where there's a lot of mild hamstring soreness, felt something tight. Like, it's not, they don't even, give it like a name. It's like, well, we don't got to put titles on it. Just something going on with the hammy. And they sit them for, especially if you have an off day the next day or something, they're like, no, absolutely not. We'll see you on Thursday. There was one other piece. Oh, Tommy Tremble jogging off to the side at practice. I saw a video of it, which is the kind of, it's like, all right, it is happening. He was not in pads, but moving fairly well, which is something, it's been a while since the surgery, I guess.
Yeah, I think he was doing some drills, like some running routes against nobody the other day.
So good to see him on the mend. Tight end is another position. If Tremble's not healthy, their depth is quite frankly not there. You have Jatavian Sanders and Mitchell Evans, and they signed a journeyman a couple days ago, which I don't expect to see him on any kind of 53-man roster. So you got a rookie and a second-year player by themselves if Tommy Tremble isn't ready to go. And that's it for the little roundup. Any other injury news that I missed? I don't think so.
Hunter Renfrow did not practice again today.
He and Scorton were kind of there, but not in pads hanging out. They call them the mild hamstring soreness guys.
Yeah, I guess so. One thing we should keep in mind, remember Derek Brown, when they had a non-padded practice the other day, was off to the side because of oblique soreness, but he was right back at it. Only missed that one day.
He more so than, I know they're cautious with everybody, even more so than all that. Like, if he wakes, you never wake up, you like slept funny and your neck's a little sore. I'm like, Brown, Derek, DB, take 2 days, man.
Go get a massage.
Yeah.
We'll see you on Thursday.
This is a week 1 deal for you. Like, he is very, very important to that defense, as he should be with the accolades and money that he's earned. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Normally, at this time, I would be soliciting calls for a numbers game that we would be playing when we come back. But instead, we have a very big announcement, and we will be calling someone for a very special surprise. Stick around to find out what all that means. Coming up next.
Move your sports day forward.
A public service announcement on the dangers of hopium. Yes, hopium, a powerful substance before a season starts. Every NFL fan gets a taste, especially with the Carolina Panthers, where it seems continuity has created a side effect: the use of the word playoffs. One piece of advice: until they lead the division, just say no.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
That'll be 30 even.
That's 90 points! Sorry, that was a lot. Now that I'm getting 3 times the points on food and fuel with the Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card, I get a little too hyped sometimes.
Cool. Would you like your receipt?
In the bag! Sorry. In the bag, please.
Learn more about the everyday, everywhere Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
I am here with Patrick Day of the Aluminium Company of North Carolina. I'm on your website. Gutter helmets right on the front of the website. Do you have a gutter helmet to fit my head? I have a small head.
We have a gutter helmet for every head, Adam. So anyhow, if you give us a call, we'll come out and take a look at your windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, and of course we can do the gutter helmet. We have financing programs that are really good. So we have like 12 months with 0 payments for 12 months. You don't have to pay anything. So if you're thinking about home improvements and you're thinking you're saving up for it, just come on and see us and we'll go ahead and get you set up and get your project done, and you can pay in 12 months from now.
I feel like you're speaking directly to me. If it's for the exterior of your home, there is no better place than the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You can find them online, aluminumcompany.com. Siding, roofing, windows, entry doors, storm doors, and the world-famous gutter helmets. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 1-800-672-4348.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is normally the time to play the numbers game. But instead, we just have an awesome announcement for you about the numbers game. It's back, everybody! Second annual numbers game live. Presented by Sharky's Place Sports Bar and Grill. Takes place 20 days from now, August 21st. It's a Thursday. We will collect, and the invitations have already been going out. Everyone in the last year that has had a perfect 5 for 5 in the numbers game has, maybe without their knowledge, that 5 for 5, it's given them like a Wonka's golden ticket. They are invited to see how they measure up against the best of the best of the best in the numbers game. The perfect score players will battle the clock at the Hilton Raleigh North Hills, a fabulous hotel for all your needs, and they will battle it out in a special live edition of the numbers game that will start with every perfect score winner in round 1, and by the time the night is over, just one will remain. You'll be able to watch. If you are not a perfect score player, you'll be able to watch along with the competition, see me get to live out my dreams as a game show host, I guess, like a Trebek Sajak style, Bob Barker. But you can watch as we crown our champion live on YouTube. Special thanks to Onsite AV, a full service event production company, for supplying the sights and sounds of Numbers Game Live on August 21st. Now, this is the second annual Numbers Game Live. And our original champion from last year was promised and will receive an invitation. If you win, you get the automatic opportunity to defend your title, whether you have a perfect score in the following year or not. So, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I will let everybody in on my reaction to the first Numbers Game Live. I say it often on this show. I am as nerdy a sports fan as I know. Most nights, starting last Thursday through the end of the NHL playoffs, I'm pretty much watching some form of sport. I am reading blogs about sports. Like, I am as nerdy a sports fan as I know. I honestly don't think I'm finishing like top 5 at the Numbers Game Live last year. And I darn sure I'm not finishing in the top 2, because the final 2 we had were unbelievable.
We're talking literally 5 for 5s in 11, 12 seconds.
Flying through them, back and forth, categories that maybe aren't their forte, still smoking it. Like, our listeners are wildly impressive. So we need to see if we can match the intensity and match the hype for the second time when we bring it back. Numbers Game Live, second edition, Thursday, August 21st. And also along those lines, we have some very good news for one potential contestant. Dennis, have they called back yet?
They have not.
Okay, perfect. If your name is Evan
Mitchell,
otherwise known as Evan from Fuquay, back at near the end of June 23rd, I received an email from Evan Mitchell. Actually, Dennis is answering the phone now. If it is Evan, we're going to put him on air, and I'm going to say this immediately to himself. Evan, are you there?
Yes.
Evan, do you recall an email you sent to me on June 23rd?
I do.
Okay. Just so everybody knows, and I'm not doing this to put you on blast, but I'm doing this because I respect the hustle. I put it into a word counter. This is 350 words of hard and fast evidence of how we let one slip through the cracks. Okay, you got a 4 for 4 a 4 for 5. Oh, that's how it was presented on air. It was a 4 for 5 back in the middle part of June 10th. And part of the reason you didn't get that perfect 5 for 5 was you called Jahmyr Gibbs and said number 0, and we gave you a buzzer. We said that was not correct, and our justification was he has not worn it yet, so it doesn't qualify, because it had been announced that Jahmyr Gibbs was changing to number 0 this offseason, but he hadn't worn it in a game yet. Then, on June 23rd, which is the day you sent your email, somebody won, and we accepted the answer for Puka Nacua wearing number 12, which is a number he had not worn yet. He was moving from 17 to 12 this offseason. You appropriately argued that in your dispute, both of these scenarios, Gibbs and Puka would not have played in these numbers, but we did recognize one is correct and one is incorrect, which is obviously not consistent and not cool on our part. So we are retroactively awarding you the 5 for 5, and you received an invitation to the Numbers Game Live.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
You get the opportunity, and as you say in bold at the end of your email, you want the opportunity to compete against the best in the numbers game? You get that opportunity. You get that opportunity. Now it's put up or shut up time, right? When you make it out there later this month, I want you advancing far because you put the work in, and we wanted to right an injustice. So congratulations, you are invited.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Evan, stay on the line. I don't know if there's any more information we need to get from you, but you can absolutely expect the invitation coming your way shortly, all right?
Great. Thank you.
There you go. Evan, everybody. Evan from Fuquay. And just to take it one step further, that's awesome, okay? That is absolutely awesome. We play the numbers game every day. It is, I think, 5:30, right? Probably many of you are maybe nearing the end of your commute home if you kind of got off work at 5 and you got a decent commute or whatever it is. But the argument is it's just something to break up the afternoon, give you a little bit of mindless fun, right? Sports fans naming sports people. It's just kind of a fun deal. But to see how many of you have embraced it is really fun. It's why we do this little numbers game live. It's a way to give back to those that really take it seriously and jump in and make it fun. I know that there's a lot of kids out there that have kind of locked in on the numbers game, and I know that because when I'm out and about, many of you tell me like, "Oh, my son, driving home from practice, he got a 3 for 5 the other day," or he couldn't believe that they didn't know that John Elway wore number 7. Like those are so much fun. So, those of you like Evan that like respect the game and hustle and track it and listen every day, we greatly appreciate you. Which is why these numbers game live events are so fun to kind of hang out and get to interact with many of you. And we hope that many of you will join us on YouTube when we do it live streaming. 99.9 The Fan, by the way. Follow it now. Coming up August 21st.
By the way, the YouTube live of it, because people jump in the chat, people's friends and all that kind of stuff, it really is a blast, the comments that people start leaving.
And Dennis, a lot of times, because we kind of do like Dennis is running some stuff at the table. I'm running some stuff. We have behind the scenes judges, but Dennis is reading quotes from like comments from the chat, so it gets people riled up. It's really fun, and it's, to be completely honest, it gets the adrenaline flowing again.
Oh, it does.
It's if you were an athlete at any point in time, you don't realize how much you miss the crowd element. Where we get it's not thousands of people, but it's enough that when that clock starts ticking a little faster, you start going and the adrenaline gets rolling, and it's fun to see some thrive in that moment and some lock up, because there's certain numbers game players that we know, right? They call in often, they do very well. They 4 for 5, 5 for 5, 3 for 5, 4 for 5, like over and over again. Then you get them in front of some people. Put that microphone in front of their face, the whole, terrified of public speaking thing kicks in, and all of a sudden they're not as good. And it's that's what the game is about.
Oh yeah, that's the thing about doing it live, because there's plenty of people that will say, "Oh, I would have gotten 4 for 5 on that numbers game, whatever it was." When they actually have to call in and do it live, they freeze. So then the people that don't freeze in that situation, now you got to, like you said, do it in front of other people. It's competition. There's stuff at stake. It's a lot of fun.
And lastly here, before we move on, and thank you to the sponsors. Thank you to everybody that'll be there. Thank you to everybody here that's going to be putting it on. I'm going to read the last part of Evan's email. Okay,
yes.
Like I said, it's 350 words, time-stamped YouTube videos of the numbers game, like very well argued. He says, "I hope this does not come across as a complaint or an annoyance to you, but I am a huge fan of your show, and I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to play the numbers game multiple times in the past. I just hope you can understand my frustration of being this close to being eligible for the numbers game tournament. From what counted against my score back in May would have counted today. If we make a mistake, if I make a mistake, you know how I am with on-air math. If a mistake has been made and you feel you've been done an injustice, it is not a complaint or an annoyance. Let us know. Now, if you're wrong, we may not agree with you, or if you are getting really nitpicky, we may, all right, relax. But if it's something like this, like if you feel you deserve the win and you didn't get it, we want to hear from you. We want to correct our mistakes. We don't want anybody going around thinking, they got robbed by the numbers game or anything else we do on this show. Let us know. I can't always guarantee like a super positive response and an awesome little bow on it ending like this one for Evan, but we want you to call, and we want everybody to be happy with how they're treated here on the drive. And that's for everything here at 99.9 The Fan. I'll give you the details one more time before we move on. The numbers game live It's back. Second annual Numbers Game Live show presented by Sharky's Place Sports Bar and Grill takes place Thursday, August 21st. The perfect score earners, the perfect players, will battle the clock at the Hilton Raleigh North Hills, a fabulous hotel for all your needs. You at home can watch as we crown our champion live on a YouTube live stream. Special thanks to Onsite AV, a full-service event production company, for supplying the sights and sounds of Numbers Game Live, again, coming up August 21st. And shout out to Evan for earning his way there and all of our other perfect score winners.
He was very excited, by the way.
Good. I'm glad. And we had that email June 23rd, and I think we decided June 24th after looking at all the evidence. Oh, we're going to give him an invite, but we wanted to do it kind of cool when we announced Numbers Game Live. So he was waiting for a response patiently, and I'm glad that he's happy. We're going to make some picks, send you out into the weekend the right way. Coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
My favorite player in the NFL ever is Dan Marino, and I do not want Lamar Jackson to be the modern Dan Marino. I don't want his career and his accomplishments to feel incomplete because he doesn't have a ring. And I think that's why we put so much pressure on him, because we all acknowledge the greatness, and we don't want to see him fall short of completing the resume.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone, available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or 2 bird dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's a Friday, everybody. You made it. By the way, the last Friday where you will not be either preparing for a Panthers game or reviewing a Panthers game or be on a Panthers bye for a very long time. Because it's a week from today, right? It's a Friday game to get things started. It's a week from today. They play the Cleveland Brownies at a preseason game. Home game. There you go.
Which, by the way, reminder to folks, Panthers games are on Mix 101.5.
Which is under our umbrella with Capital Broadcasting.
It's our sister station.
But things like Panther Talk with the voice of the Panthers, Anish Shroff, is right here on 99.9 The Fan, Monday at 6. So you should keep them for your Panther Talk. Not unintentional about the name of their show. For your Panther content on our show, on Panther Talk for games, you want to keep all of our all of our family of networks kind of on your presets. But we do crank out a lot of Panthers content. And our YouTube as well, 99.9 The Fan. We crank out a lot of Panthers content there as well as all of the local teams. So please subscribe, like, share, set up alarms. What's the thing that we were asking for now? Set up alerts. Alerts is the term.
Yeah, set up alerts. Hit that little notification bell if you subscribe to our YouTube page. Hit the notification bell so when we drop new videos and all that out there, boom,
there you go.
Notification comes your way.
Social media is changing rapidly. I'm sure all of you know that. So we get different requests to kind of pass along, and one that we've gotten recently is try to make sure everybody's setting up those alerts. So if you're already subscribed to our YouTube, first of all, you're awesome. Thank you. Go in, check if the alerts are notified. That way, when we pop up a new video, you can customize them and all that. So certain videos, when they pop up, boom, you get yourself an alert. Now, we're done with the housekeeping. We can go ahead and jump into making some picks. This is also kind of along the lines of what we were just talking about. One of the last weekends where Dennis is going to be scraping the barrel for picks to make. I mean, at least we'll be making some preseason picks next week.
Yeah, at least some sort of football season.
So what do you got for us, Dennis?
All right, your Mets.
Darn right.
We're going to start right off the top here. Your Mets at home taking on the San Francisco Giants.
Yep.
Your Mets are favored to win this one. Minus 150 on the money line.
Yeah, just it was a real weird road trip. They went out west, and I think they swept the Giants. Then
they did.
Then they got swept by the Padres. Now they're back home facing the Giants again. So, right, best indicator of past results, or best indicator of future results, past results? Do we take the last 3 games they've played overall, in which they didn't play well against San Diego, or do we take the last 3 games they played against San Fran, in which case they smoked them? I'm going to be optimistic and say, give me the Giants results. I think they're going to smoke them. Give me the Mets by 4.
Mets by 4. All right, take that.
I just brought it up on ESPN. ESPN's telling me you can get tickets as low as $16. I might have to drive to Queens.
What's the name of the field? I always think Shea Stadium is always
City.
City, that's right. City Financial.
Shea is so much better.
Yeah, I know. Shea Stadium. Yeah.
I don't like modern Mets have made a lot of decisions that I'm kind of fan committed to, but I don't like the big apple coming up and everything. Anyway, continue with making our picks. Unless, actually, do you agree? You're also in on the Mets? I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can. Do you concur? Doctor,
yeah.
Do you concur?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
All right.
You always concur.
Yeah, sure, why not? Since you and I both have our ladder challenge picks involving the LA Dodgers tonight, the Dodgers are on the road in Tampa. I'll say air quotes Tampa because they're not actually, they play at a minor league stadium. But anyway, LA Dodgers minus 135 on the money line taking on Tampa Bay tonight. Clayton Kershaw on the mound.
I'm a big Kershaw fan. I just, I'm a fan of greatness. He's one of them ones. I do think this, LA is Hollywood, right? Going to play Tampa is weird for them because of what you said. I think it matters more than you think. If you're used to playing like giant stadiums and then all of a sudden you go play in a minor league stadium, I don't know. It's I played at the University of Delaware. I would guess if State or UNC or something went and played at Delaware where we fit 22,000 into our stadium, they would probably be like, wow, this energy is like a high school deal. And I think we could catch them, right? We could get them while their blood pressure is, or their pulse is too close to resting. So what was the spread on this one?
It's it's 1.5 runs, but it's a minus 135 on the money line in favor of the Dodgers.
All right, give me Tampa on the money line.
Oh, okay.
Because I think the Dodgers won't wake up because they're playing in front of the smallest crowds they've played in a while.
Okay.
And I like Junior Caminero. Played a bunch here at the Durham Bulls, young guy. I think he hits a home run. And Shohei's not stealing anything because then my ladder challenge hits.
And then, if Tampa wins, I'm assuming Clayton Kershaw is going to give up at least 1 earned run.
Nope. He's going to go 7 scoreless, and then the bullpen is just going to absolutely lose it.
They're going to lose it 1-0.
Nope. 8-1.
8-1. Okay, well, there
Junior
you go.
Caminero's in a grand slam in the 8th.
All right, fair enough. All right, San Diego Padres made
I made really specific predictions yesterday for the Hall of Fame game, and it came true. So now I'm just like, let's see if this is how it goes now. Let's see if the superpower exists.
Like, I'm on a heater. Let's keep this thing going. All right, the San Diego Padres made a bunch of moves at the trade deadline last night for Major League Baseball, which we never really touched on today because we have no baseball team here in North Carolina. We're kind of like in a Major League Baseball abyss.
Yep.
Because you can't really watch any games. Anyway, San Diego Padres at home taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals, just 500 team, 55-55. But San Diego, 60-49, minus 200 on the money line at home.
Give me San Diego. I think San Diego is like making a deal with the metaphorical devil here. They've traded away unbelievable amounts of prospects in the last 5 years. I think there's going to be a point where they're just awful for a while. But the deal is to be pretty good now, I guess. So give me the Padres to get the win. But can I short their stock for 2032 and beyond? I think they're really just nuking their farm system.
I wish Manny Machado didn't play out west just because I would actually like to see him a little bit more.
When I was living in Baltimore, he was there. He is, to use a Stephen A. Smith term, box office. That wasn't a bad Stephen A. Smith.
I think it was all right. Let's.
What?
Yeah, it was close. What? I don't know if I could do it again, but he says box office. Box! No, I can't do it. That one wasn't going to be as good.
Nope,
I shouldn't have tried.
But yeah, Machado's hitting .302 this year, has 20 home runs, 71 RBIs.
He's, probably not talked about enough for a guy that is obviously on a Hall of Fame track.
He's good. He's darn good. All right, another baseball game for you.
He made a throw when I was in Baltimore. He's playing third base, running to his right, in foul territory, scooped it up, and did probably what the Derek Jeter jump throw should have been, which is keeping your feet on the ground and throwing it more sound stylistically or technically. But it hummed. Just a flick of the wrist. And he got the guy at first, and it was unreal. Shout out to Manny Machado's just natural baseball ability.
All right, let's go with a couple teams that are in contention for the playoffs. Houston Astros leading the American League West, up 4.5 games over the Mariners, taking on the Boston Red Sox, who are pushing for a wild card spot right now. Boston is at home taking on the Astros, but the Astros minus 130 on the money line.
I don't pretend to know everything Boston did at the deadline, but I do know I have a couple Boston friends that are Red Sox fans, and they hated whatever Boston did at the deadline. They were just complaining nonstop on social media. So I'm going to assume they didn't get a lot better.
And Houston got Carlos Correa back?
Yes, and that's one of the bigger deals, I guess, of the deadline is Houston got Correa back. So, if one team's kind of showing confidence in their team by going all in and getting a guy, and the other is not going all in, that's probably not great. They traded Devers already. So give me Houston in Beantown to put a beat down on Boston.
All right.
7-2.
Let's have a little fun here. Let's get a little wacky with it because why not? It's a Friday. The Texas Tailgaters take on the Savannah Bananas tonight. I believe that game is actually, you can watch it on ESPN tonight at 7 o'clock. Savannah Bananas taking on the Texas Tailgaters.
Are the Bananas like the Globetrotters in that they never lose, or do they lose?
No, they can lose.
Okay.
Because they actually are playing baseball, even though there's a whole bunch of antics and everything going with it. There's still baseball being played. So you can
I think there's some baseball players out there that are going, that's not baseball.
Oh, for sure.
It's banana ball. Do you know there's now Bananas games that don't involve the Bananas?
Yes.
They have other teams that play. It's not the Savannah, it's the Firefighters and the Woodchucks or whatever.
So they have, they started off the Savannah Bananas and the Party Animals. Now they also have the Tailgaters and the Firefighters as well.
Yeah, so the Party Animals are now like the headliner on a B tour.
Yeah, something like that, but it's still banana ball.
Yeah, it's crazy. Give me the Bananas. I'm not picking against the Bananas in a banana ball. It's called banana ball.
Yeah.
If baseball were called Yankee ball, I'm not going, who's going to beat the Yankees this year? No, you'd pick them. So give me the Bananas and banana ball. Also, I don't know how algorithms do it, but the Savannah Bananas are leading the league, and I didn't ask for you to be on my timeline, but I see a lot of videos of you. I have very little interest in it. I know it's great for the kids. It's building, hype into the sport. But I would like to see less bananas on my social media timelines.
I'll leave that where it is. All right, final one here. Premier Lacrosse League, because I know you love picking these games simply based on mascot and team names.
That's all I got.
The Carolina Chaos on the road taking on the Denver Outlaws. That game actually at 8 o'clock tonight.
I very rarely pick against the local. That's not anything to do with names or anything like that. It's just the Carolina Chaos, right? And I know one fact about the Carolina Chaos.
What?
They got a good goalie.
They do. Blaze Reardon.
That's every time. And I know somebody whose last name is Reardon. He's the lacrosse coach.
Yeah.
We've got this conversation down. Pre-game win probabilities, according to PremierLacrosse.com, PLL Labs have it 51.3% Denver.
Yeah.
Fan vote has it 90.3% Denver.
Denver's good. Their attack is stacked. They have the last 4 Tewaaraton winners, which is the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy. They have the last 4 on their roster.
Don't doubt the chaos. Just when you count them out, that's when the chaos get chaotic. 1, 2, 3, chaos. Carolina all day.
Go us.
Chaotic. That's about going to do it for us here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, we made the announcement. Numbers Game Live is back. It is going to be August 21st. If you have a perfect score in the Numbers Game in the last year, check your inbox, check your email. And from this point forward, we're qualifying for next year. So keep coming in, keep playing the Numbers Game. Dennis, thank you for keeping us up and running. We'll be back on Monday, which is a Panthers game week. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.
Hi, this is Renee Chu. The most trusted local news in the Triangle is now on the radio. WRL News Plus. Now get breaking news and severe weather reports on the radio 24 hours a day. Listen on the radio at 96.5 FM in Durham, 99.3 FM in Raleigh, and everywhere in the Triangle at 101.5 HD3.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on home and auto insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check your house sitter has the new code first before leaving for vacation.
System lockout.
But that's the code.
Contacting authority.
I'm out of here.
Oh, seriously, the car too?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a home and auto bundle that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live